All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Saturday night time, Sunday morning time stream. How's it going, guys? Oh, no, wait. It's actually Sunday night, Monday morning, isn't it? That's right. Everything's pushed forward because of Labor Day. Hey, what's up, guys? All right, let's get this party started. So we'll fill in the menu. All right. Hours working today on the tagged submission. All right. It was a little confusing. They have like a different setup for if you're submitting the cards. If you're submitting the cards through their like group submission thing, it's very different. Here we are. All right. So we're going to be saying hot slabs at hot prices. We're going to be saying new breaks. And we're going to be saying Pokemon cards of your dreams. Live card shop. I like saying that. It's really funny. Okay, we're going to hit save. All right. Cool. Let's jump over here. Grab this. Did we already ping? Looks like Mr. Alex pinged, so we're good on that. Okay. Ooh, what do we have here? Hope you're doing well. What? Weird. I can't tell if that's a scam email. So weird. Claw Lab Tufting Collaboration. What? Weird. All right, I'm going to throw that away. Okay. Who's this? Give me a minute. Reading another email. Okay. Oh, that is so strange. What is he talking about? This is the guy who manages my he manages my property. It sounds like he's trying to ask me if he can do advertising for my card shop, and it's really confusing. Okay, yeah, it looks like he's asking me actually if he can do AI advertising. I'm going to mark that as in red, but I don't think so. All right. I don't really see how AI advertising would work at all. Toss that away. There's one thing that would work is if we made more convincing videos. More entertaining videos. Let's go ahead and close that. And then the other thing would just be getting better prices. That's it. Better prices. That's what people want. They don't want any BS. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the late night stream. Grab this. Anytime that I want to move a lot of cards quickly, it really is just a matter of price. All right, move that away. Lift this up. Oh my gosh, so many ads. It's incredible. Ad after ad after ad. Well, I spent all my money yesterday. I spent all my money. I spent it on a big restock of Pokemon Black Bolt. I thought it was at a decent price, so I said, you know what? Let's just buy a chunk of it. We'll have a chunk of it. We won't worry about it anymore. It's a good set. I actually appreciate it. It's got that Victini. It's got that Chrome Zekrom in it. So we're going to have a nice We're going to have a nice chunk of it and then not worry about it anymore. So I put these beautiful cards up on the table. Aren't these nice? These are so nice. These are all potential breaks. I really like them. Look, I said break on that one. Isn't that cool? Here's an Eevee. I think I just wanted to hold one of those. There's a nice Gray Ninja. Here's a nice Rocket Snido King. That's a good one. I like that one a lot. and an ancient Mew. Especially now, if you make Pokemon cheap, people buy them up. Yes, sir. Yes, they do. So let's take a quick look at this Topps Moltres. Let's take a quick look at it. You ready? Ooh, PSA 10 Topps Moltres. Okay, Topps Moltres. He is such a cool card. Okay. So, what did I pay for this guy? Moltres. Oh, that music sounds nice, man. Okay. Me and my friends were talking about if AI will affect our jobs. Nah. Maybe. Ready? New break on this Moltres. We got a new break coming in. Whoa. That's really pretty. Holy cow, man. You guys know we host a lot of breaks. It's an exciting place to be able to pull a slab for 40 bucks. This Meowth right here has one spot left on it, by the way. If it isn't already sold, it might already be sold. Let me just double check, okay? Hold on, give me a second. If it isn't already sold. Tonight's the Sunday night stream. Okay. Sunday tends to be a bit of a slower night. And I can see right now there's no orders in the queue. So that means there's one spot on this Meowth and nobody's got it yet. Here we are. Okay. That's Moltres. Nice. How's the Mega Break doing? Mega Break, I think, is not moving super fast. There we are. 3 spots left. Ooh. More slab away cards. More, I demand more. There we go. This is going to be Topps. Oops. There we have it. Ooh. Very nice. If I recall, we were working on consignment slabs yesterday, and I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done, guys. So we still got lots of consignment slabs to price up, get their pictures taken. Ooh, here's that nice Nido King. I'm going to place this guy behind me as well. He's cool. I like him. That's a nice vintage 2000 Moltres Topps holographic. It looks really cool. Okay, that's an Anthony Kalura Roaring Moon 10. That's a nice card, isn't it? Roaring Moon, Master Ball Roaring Moon. Here's a Lightning PSA 10 for Tammy. Okay. Here's an Aovic. Ah, okay, one of those Aovic slabs. We got to make sure he gets all those. Hey, yo, Vic. Okay, good. $1 million idea. Get a blank star to do an AI voice, and boom, we're in the Poke Money. What? How's that a $1 million idea? Here's AP, and here is 6. Okay, so there we go. We got a couple guys. Let's go ahead and get 2 more. Misters, the Chinese 155 surprise the same as the Chinese Scarlet Violet 151. No. If there's a difference, has to Gengar Pikachu. Here we are. So here's Wooper. And here is Mr. Haymeyer, Anthony Haymeyer, with this really expensive signature Sonic card. That's pretty good. 1.5 thousand, in my opinion, is fair. You just need to find a buyer, that's all. So it's Auto 9. Mint 9 is a high grade for a holographic card from this series. Beautiful. Sonic 2. Roger Craig Smith once voiced Sonic. I guess there's been multiple Sonic voice actors, though. We are. All right. Let's set that down for a moment. All right. The current AI voices suck. Oh, I see what you're saying. You want an actress to have her voice synthesized by AI. That would not work because you would have to have... Basically, its relevance would only be to guys who have watched so much adult content of that particular actress that they recognize her voice. That's it. That's a narrow, that's a narrow group. All right. So, consignment. Yes, consignment. Ooh. Phone's dirty. Hold on. I'll watch my phone. Okay. How's the Mega Break doing? That Moltres. He's pretty looking. Yeah, he's pretty for sure. All right. Good. I was watching the latest Jubilee video, just pieces of it, I guess. And it's Brett Davis, and he's arguing with anti-capitalists. There we are. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if anyone else watches content like that. I like content like that. Gooning always wins. You might be right. Gooning might always win. What do we got here? We got some more cards for you guys. All right. There's an Aovic slab. Okay, so what do we have here? We have this Melodic 8.5, considered a miscut. Honestly, I think this will be very hard to sell for $80. It is technically miscut because there is a guiding dot up in this upper right corner. However, it's not miscut in a way that I think would be exciting to anyone. Mr. Stekowski, I'm recommending significantly lowering the price on this. I don't know if you would let me do that. I would recommend lowering it to about $40. I don't even know if it would sell at 40, but the problem with this miscut is it's not exciting. Like, yes, it technically counts as a miscut, but the problem is just sort of like from an aesthetics point of view, this just looks like a really off-center card. It doesn't get me excited. Now, it would get me excited if another card was at the top or another card was on the bottom or to the left or the right. So if it was so off-center that maybe like the yellow border was completely missing, that's exciting. But this is still there. It just looks like a really off-center card is all. So I think you will have trouble moving that. You'll be surprised. I've tried to sell miscut cards. The miscut cards that actually sell are the ones that are super messed up, and that one's not messed up enough. It's messed up enough to get the qualifier, but not messed up enough to get the buyers. Anthony Kalura has a slack off with $110 on it. Let's take a look at that slack off. Let's see if the price has changed on that. We are working on pricing up slabs. Slack, oops, I typed in spack off. Number 212. Boop. Hello, Emily. How are you today? Let's go ahead and type this in. How's your Pokemon card collection? All right, so the price on this card has changed. It is now a $90 card. This card has gone down over time. This happens because more people get the card graded, and as they return from the grading company, the supply increases. So if the supply increases enough, prices start to fall. So slack off this price will be a much more attractive $89. Okay, Anthony Kalura. And we should, well, you know, yeah, we should have an age on this as well. I'm good. Just trim the excess yellow border off. Problem solved. Okay, good. I just need to keep my cousin away from them. Okay, an Adam Pashuas 110 Uno Charizard. Very interesting card. What do you guys think of this one? Uno Charizard. Uno Charizard. Japanese. Let's see. He's got the Uno Japanese version, but there's this Uno Asia version. I'm worried that the Uno Asian version is good enough for people. Like, I don't think they're going to care that much. It looks like they're different on the back. They're slightly different. It says Pokemon on the top left corner. This one has Japanese language. People might even prefer that Pokemon logo on the back. So I think if I was you, Adam, with this not selling on the first go around, I would probably lower that to $50 to compete with the Asia version of the card. I just don't think that people care that much about the difference in the back of the card to pay a whole lot more money for it. All right, there's the checklist, the South Park checklist. So these are all cards that haven't sold. You probably have no competition for this card. We'll check it real fast. I don't think that one's going to sell either, unless it was really, really cheap. I'm talking like maybe 40 bucks. Here's the issue with this card. Checklist. Here's the problem with this card. Yes, you managed to get it to grade 10. I wouldn't have even sent it in, because who's really buying this? I mean, it's just an ugly list, isn't it? There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about the card at all. So the problem is convincing someone to give you their cash for something that's fundamentally ugly. The card itself is ugly. So it's a 10, but but it's a 10 of an ugly card. So I wouldn't have even bothered grading it. Now, you can list it at whatever price you want, because there's none for sale. I can see you're the only one selling it. Might be a good card for eBay, maybe somebody trying to complete the set. If you want to sell it here, I would lower the price. I think the checklist will be one of the hardest cards to move. Normally, checklists sell because the front of the card normally has an image and then the back of the card has a list on it. This one only has 2 lists on it. That's it. It really is just, it's almost like an instruction manual. There's nothing exciting about it. It's quite poor. All right, Palkia 10. Let's find out about this Palkia 10. PSA 10, Palkia, Palkia Poker. Yeah, unfortunately, you graded that one. I wouldn't have spent the money, but you did get a 10 on it, so it's not all bad. You should be able to profit a little bit, but I wouldn't hold on to that card because it's just not collectible. Only someone trying to make a complete collection of the South Park set will want it, and that must be a tiny group of people. Okay, there is no Palkia Poker to compare. Mr. LaFlame has it at $99. I'm going to move it down to just $90 now. There we are. So we're going to do a 10% off for Mr. LaFlame. I could see him telling me to do that. I think 90 is still a great figure to sell this at. Just got back from cousin's wedding. So tiring. Here we are. How nice. Okay, that's LaFlame. 9.25. All right, so we're going to reset that to $90. I'm recommending a full $40 for that. This, you might want to compete with the new Asia card. You might want to make this 50. This has been repriced to 90. I would lower this probably to 40 as well. It really did just grade 8.5, and it's just a really off-center card. The errors, not convincing enough in my opinion. This is not getting me, I'm not pitching a tent over that card. That's the issue. Okay, and if I'm not feeling that, the customer's probably also not feeling that. Is you basically rely on somebody having too much money and not enough understanding of what they could buy with that money. Taking a picture of it as is. Maybe this will be edited. Hello, mistress. The tag sub out. Not yet, but the mail doesn't get picked up until Tuesday, so there's still time, okay? I actually did get an enormous amount of work done with the tag submission. Basically, we're doing 2 submissions, and one submission is done, but we have to get the other submission done as well. We are grading a lot more cards with them now. It costs a huge amount of money. It's a lot of money. Here are some breaks. We got the James Cathcart break. We got the Topps break. It's brand new. Jump into that. We've got the Aerodactyl break. Some vintage cards this round. How cool, man. If you want some bigger breaks, we got this beautiful Rare Candy Espeon. Gorgeous cards. Super collectible, super collectible, super collectible, super collectible. Those are top tier cards in my opinion. This is the kind of stuff I put in my own personal collection. Like, for example, I have a couple of these myself. I'm just going to keep them. But I got one for you guys too. So that's what I did. I got one for you guys too. Okay. Let's take a look at the queue now. We priced up a couple cards here. Let's take a look at the queue. Okay. Geek. Like the stream. We have an order from Martin. One live custom. If it's a hit, give it to the first person to pull an SAR or an SIR. Oh, there's a giveaway then. Also, are we in September? We're in September. It's September, everybody. Weeks. Bro, how? Wow, he must have known that there could have been a hit nearby. That's crazy. Oh, that's a big giveaway then. Duns, ... All right, we got a couple giveaways going on at the same time then. Okay, is this it? Oh, lovely. Dunsparce. Split Earth Dunsparce. All right. So this is a gift from Martin Ramirez to you guys. Let's go ahead and slap a free on it. Don't want to lose track of this. We'll have the keyword be Martin. Okay. Wow. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to our Pokemon card live stream, our late night stream, our overnight stream. It's Sunday going into Monday. Karis doesn't have to work, though, so there may be no daytime stream tomorrow. I may just be hanging out with Karis on a vacation Monday. They gave her the day off. So since she's not working, I don't think I'm going to be working. She's going to want me to hang out with her. That's what she's going to want. All right, there it is. Dunsparce is September 1st. Woo! All right, time's flying. I'm feeling old already. I'm feeling so old. Okay, let's take a look at the giveaways. So this one was handed out last night to Clued. Miss Strawberry has one. This is a $50 donation, Miss Strawberry. There's one grading over here. Wherever it went. I know it's in here somewhere. It was a simple doggy card. I probably set it to the side. So that doggy card was donated by Mr. Aovic. Thank you, Aovic. And Martin Ramirez. Oh, I gotta sneeze. I always sneeze in this room. This room has to be so dusty. Something about the dust must be bad. You know, dust must be unhealthy, because why else would your nose reject it? So, now wait a second. How did he say to give this away? Okay, he says first person to pull an SIR. I'm going to change the rules to make sure that it's not too easy. It's going to be SIR in English. It must be in English, because otherwise people are just going to pull something out of a, you know, $40, $50 Korean box, and then that's not much of a contest. Also, some sets have a guaranteed SIR in them. Is it SIR for English or Japanese? I can't remember. So first, this is like a bounty now, the Martin Ramirez bounty. And actually, maybe I shouldn't call it free. I should call it a bounty. This shouldn't say free. I mean, it is free in the sense that he donated it. But he wants it to run like a bounty. Okay, the Martin bounty. Pull an SIR, go in, grab this Dunsparce for free. It's PSA 10 from Split Earth. That's Sky Ridge. It's also first edition. Okay, so that's new. Where'd that doggy card go? I want that doggy card. I thought the doggy card was in this pile. I could have sworn. I thought he was in that pile. Doggy card in this pile. Great, where'd I put him? All right, there's a $10 doggy card somewhere nearby. Get an air purifier. We do have an air purifier. It just doesn't make a difference, unfortunately. New break, the Topps break. James Cathcart break has one spot in it. James Cathcart break, one spot left. We're all about the breaks on this channel. All right, we got Cloud, we've got Trafalgar Law, we got Carddass Gengar. I want to hear some ideas for the very best break I could possibly host. I want to hear some ideas from the audience. Do some brainstorming with me. I like to provide the most exciting possible break. So you tell me what the most exciting possible break would be, and I'll think about it, okay? All right, cool. There are currently, oh wait, here it is, Jared. He says 2007 Topps Halo 1 pack. All right, Mr. Jared. Not a long wait time there, huh, Mr. Jared? It's a Sunday night. Sundays are notoriously slow. Sundays and Tuesdays. We are. I used to buy a few box fans and put filter-type fabrics on the back to keep my unfinished basement clean from dust. Oh, that's clever. So you would have the fan just circulating air in the room, essentially, and the dust would get caught as it hit the filter. Wow, it's like a makeshift air purifier. All right. Ooh. Stop typing, Martin. Yes, it's a bounty, okay? It's a bounty for whoever pulls the next SIR out of an English set. You know what that is? It's an alt-art, okay? If you don't know what that is, it's an alt-art. Like the Rocket's Mewtwo, for example. He's an SIR. Brutes. Oh, did you get a holo? Ah, that's not a holo. Dang, dude. Looked like one for a minute. Okay. Here's Surrounded. Well, this one's sticking slightly. It almost feels like it's sticking. Is it sticking? Oh, two cards are sticking. So weird. Oh, no, they're not. Okay, they're just really flush with each other. So you got Surrounded, and you've got Capture the Flag. Oh, yeah, the good old days. There you go, Mr. Jared. I can't feel my face. Gold Mega Cards, New English Victini. The Gold Mega Cards, huh? So, in other words, hyper-modern cards. Cards that are so modern, they just came out. Jump me in that Aerodactyl, please. Use my store credit. You got it. Store credit. You're jumping into that Pterodactyl. Charizard First Edition 10 break. Many small spots. I could do a Charizard First Edition PSA 6 break. It would be a mega break. Here it is. All right, here's UNSC Halcyon Cruiser. Halcyon? There we go. All right, we could call it the Heavenly break. We can call it the Holy Grail break. What if we called it a Holy Grail break? Here's Brutus. And Holy Grail breaks work like this. Just like before, it's $40 spots that add up into $400. But those $400 add up into $1,200. No. Let's have them add up into, what's 400 times 5? 2,000, right? So let's have them add up into $2,000 spots. And then let's get some real expensive cards up here, right? We'll call them Holy Grail breaks with cards that are truly like, you know, mind-blowing. Okay, that's Jared. Mr. Jared. I don't think that's a good idea unless I could adjust the card for price appreciation over time. Because I feel like if I started that breakup and it runs for like a full year and the card doubles in price in a year, I'm going to be like, why did I host this break? I should have just owned the card and benefited from the price change. Because you know what I did not benefit from? It's not like the card suddenly made me the value that it was worth a year ago, right? Because it actually just sat there, didn't it? So that's not a problem with the booster boxes. With the booster box breaks, it's not an issue because as the price of the box changes, we just update the per pack price. So that's not an issue. But with the slab, that would be an issue. So that's an interesting thing. It would have to have a variable price. In other words, again, if the card gets more expensive over time, we should be able to adjust the number of spots in it until it finishes. Jared, 5 spots for $20 ongoing breaks. 5 spots for $20. Oh, you mean $100 card break? We already have that. That would be the live customs, and that would be the Poke Shuffle. So those are considered too small. They're too small. We've thought of that one before, though. People have said, "Hey, I want a small, easy one." And it's like, well, those would take a while to host, and there's so many cards like that. So what we do, we already host those. It's called the live customs, and it's called the Poke Shuffle. There are smaller breaks. All right, Mr. Jared, you got a lot. I'm not Asian enough for this. I got lost at the division part. We are. Yeah, you need to be at least 20% Asian. Good. All right. Very nice. What would be the Holy Grail break for you guys? I mean, it's an interesting idea. Jared line. I think I'd be a little concerned. I think we'd need to develop better pulls or something like that, more substantial pulls, at least at the $1,000 level. Raise the cost of the remaining spots to make up for the change weekly so people are incentivized to buy them. There you go. All right. Let's see. Waifu Shuffle is $20 a spot. You should do that 6 break. What's a 6 break? I've never heard of that. Oh, the PSA 6 Charizard? All right, so let's jump over to NHCC. He's asking for an order. And he's saying he wants a spot in the Moltres. You got it, man. Boop. All right. Tossing that. $21 remains. That is the new Topps Moltres. He's a really beautiful card. Look at that. I believe he's actually from Topps Chrome version 2, which they don't explain that with this card. This card is probably underpriced. Okay. Oh, wait. I should just have to say NHCC. There we go. It's Pterodactyl. I don't typically buy into breaks, so it's whatever. Okay. There we go. You are in. 6 spots remain. There it is. Beautiful Moltres. Oh. I got it backwards. He didn't want the Moltres. He wanted the Aerodactyl. That's what he's saying. Not the Firebird. I thought you were making fun of the way I was saying it, but my brain had not quite made the connection that I was putting you in the wrong. There we go, Pokemon. They're actually kind of similar to each other, aren't they? They're both flying, aren't they? Oops. Moltres and Aerodactyl. It's late. I don't want to hear it. So, the Halo pack is done. Oh, and, well, we'll update that later. Okay, very nice. Tammy! All right. There's currently no queues, no orders in the queues. Here's Finn the Human. Let's place him here and the Misty here. And here is that Machop. And here is the Vibrava. And here is Mega Blastoise. Now, I was just reading NHCC's comment out loud. I had put the card into the wrong card. I'd put his spot into the Moltres when he wanted Pterodactyl. So here's Finn the Human, and it's actually 2 slabs. So it's Jake the Dog holographic and Finn the Human holographic. You get them both for $125. Not bad. I actually think this is a good one. Yeah, I like this one. You just have to be an Adventure Time fan. Jake the Dog, Finn the Human. You know, this was such a successful brand. I do not see how they would not reboot it in some way. So I think one day this brand will be rebooted. They're still making stuff related to Adventure Time, but not the main characters. Misty's Wish, priced on $8.25, $58. That's a rare card. I just think that'll be hard to sell because it's a pricier 9 trainer card. Here's the Machop 10. Really, Mr. Stexkowski, I think 70 is probably the right price for this. You could lower it just because you want a sale. You could lower it as far as 50. I wouldn't go below 50. You know, if you go below 50, time to get it up on eBay. Problem is, we don't have like a million people watching, and there might not be enough people who want to buy a Machop. Machop's too niche. He doesn't seem niche because he's part of the 151 Gen 1 collection, but it's just Machop. People just never really spend a lot of money on him. Here's Anthony Kalura's PSA 10 Vibrava. I'm surprised this is not sold. It's at $39. That's a great price, everybody. And this is Mr. Pashuis's Mega Blastoise from the Annapurna Airport. It's a pack of playing cards or something like that that you get at the airport. And now people grade them and ask $260 for them. So it's not a very, there's not a lot of those mega cards, but they're just okay. The biggest problem I have with the Annapurnas is I don't know how I feel about the way that they look. It looks kind of basic. They are. All right, let's take a picture. This was an interesting row. Hey, Mr. Hawaiian Rifleman, what do you call a daredevil Weedle? Weedle Knievel. What? What's your question, Nick? Nick's got a question? I don't get how this works. Hey, what's up, Nicholas? Welcome. We've been selling cards live for 6 years. It's just a fun way to buy cards. Up on the table, you can see slabs for sale. This is for sale for 45 bucks, for example, 45 bucks. Well, it's not anymore. Aovic wants that sent home. And then this is a break, $40 for a 1 in 6 chance for this Aerodactyl. So these are slabs for sale. We also sell booster packs. All right. Ooh, did I put the last round in the wrong box? I hope I didn't. I don't want them to go into the wrong box. Here's Aovic, because then I have to pull them out. Okay. Good. We gotta get this done so we can get all of Aovic's stuff together. That's a nice Tammy card over there. So this is Tammy's Bayleaf at just $36 for PSA 10. Bayleaf is that middle evolution, you know. I think those are hard to move, middle evolutions. Ooh, okay, so here's the Melodic. Here's the Bayleaf. Okay. We got the Stexkowski Pristine Boobies card for just $62. I think that's a pretty fair price on that one, actually. Here's Chansey, Anthony Kalura Chansey, $19, price to sell. The real problem is, even though it's cheap, who's going to buy it? And then here's a Clefairy. Ooh, yep, price to sell. Okay, these are all fine, actually. Okay. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the late night stream. I hope you guys have been having a great night. How was your Sunday, everybody? Karis and I, once again, really didn't do much. We played some games. We ate dinner. I baked dinner. I baked, it was pork. What do they call that? Pork loin. I had pork loin, and I took it and I sliced it up with a thin knife into these little, little cutlets. Then I put that on a baking sheet along with some salmon. Karis hates salmon. So I did some salmon and some pork loin. And we ate that with like mashed potatoes and macaroni. It was pretty boring, actually. It was really boring. Not an exciting meal. We almost went out to eat, but it's like we couldn't decide what we wanted to get. There was nothing that sounded good. Nothing sounded good. You guys ever do that? You ever run out of like ideas for food? You're just like, what do we eat? I don't know. Ah, we did put this in the wrong box. Look, we had already tested these two. Okay, were there more? Yes, there was. These were already assessed. So they go over here. There it goes. Okay. More consignment slabs. I know you guys are always looking for a deal. I hope you can find one here. All right. We were talking about some new ideas for breaks. What card would you guys like to break? Somebody mentioned they want to break the gold cards. We are. Ooh, Star U. They want to break the red Victini. We did that actually with the Japanese promos. I have more of those. If you want another one, I've got more of them. Technically, I don't know what they go for now, but I've got more. I kind of saved a couple to grade for myself. I just haven't done it. This is a 2009 Heart Gold Collection Japanese Starmie First Edition. 43 seems about right. That's about the right price. Nothing wrong with that price at all. Fighting Energy from the base set First Edition. This is actually First Edition. That's cool. So it is just an energy card ultimately, though. A break on that Gyarados would be awesome. Could you explain which Gyarados you're talking about? Which Gyarados are you talking about? Okay, let's see. CGC 10. Energy first. What is it? Fighting? Fighting Energy. Oh, yeah. And we want to choose buy now. Is this right? Oh, that's Gym Challenge. Hold on. Pokemon base set. So the cheapest one is $120. So it's technically a little bit cheaper. Let's lower that price. It's a little bit cheaper. Not much of a change. Goes from 125 to 120. You should hold it until it's 500K. No, I'm selling everything, man. It's all for sale now. Sell everything. We're going to buy really big, really fancy home in Las Vegas. And then we'll start all over again. The Gold Star would have to be a Holy Grail break. Yeah, Gold Star. A Gold Star break seems really expensive. Cat Girl mode. Murasaki Shion. All right, let's go over this one. I like this one here. This one's respectable. I like that. I like this too, actually. First edition base set Fighting Energy. That's nice. Pristine holographic Cat Girl for Mr. Stekowski. Here it is. It's actually in a second sleeve. It's actually a holographic. This is a HoloLive holo. He's asking $45 for it. Could be hard to find the right buyer for HoloLive. Here's Stekowski 8.5. It says minor miscut. Okay. Oh, there it is. The guiding dot down there in the corner. This really feels exactly like the issue with the Melodic. I don't think either of these miscut cards are going to sell. They simply don't look crazy enough. They look too normal. So I am recommending a price reduction on Zamazenta. What's this? Let's see. Annihilate. Okay, Annihilate. Just a nice 10 from the Pokemon Paldea English. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? We have no orders in the queue. If you guys want to open up some cards tonight, what are you guys interested in? Let's see. We're going to say PSA 10. Annihilate. 242. All right, good. So Annihilate 242. There's nothing here. 242. Yep, there's nothing here. So the price is probably fine on this. He's got literally no competition. He's asking 63. Someone jump in the Meowth and pop that off. We need one person to jump in. I'll do a $20 each if you guys want to do a half spot each. I think 6 and NHCC were thinking about that. We are. It's fine to do that, by the way. a fractional spot and a break. You guys can arrange for that for yourselves. We've done that before myself, where I set it up that way automatically. Yeah, half spot. There you go. Okay, let's see what else we got. Ooh, we are looking at some Pokewealth here, guys. Jigglypuff deck, that's good. Integrated Combat Wing. We got Myra. We've got Lycia's Appeal, and this nice Metagross. He is a PSA 9. Too bad he's not a 10. Let's go ahead and line these up. I'll do a half spot with you, NHCC, if you want to do it. So let's start with this Squirtle deck. We need to take a look at Squirtle deck Jigglypuff, because 250 seems kind of high. So we're going to say Squirtle deck Jigglypuff. Okay, okay, there is a Squirtle deck Jigglypuff for just $80. Here it is. Oh, it says Squirtle half deck. Oh, yeah, that is the Squirtle deck, though. Look, that is Squirtle deck. So they're asking only $80. This card jumps from $250 to $80. Pretty significant decline. However, all that was really going on probably is there weren't enough listed at the time. It doesn't mean that, you know, the card is wrongly priced at $80. It's just we were copying whatever was on the market that day. All right. This is going to say 80. TAM. And then we're going to say 925. That's actually a much more tempting price. Much more tempting. So now, look at that. PSA 10 Squirtle deck Jigglypuff, $80. Super tempting. Way better price. Much more interesting now. Okay, let's see. What's this? We're going to hit play on this. We got Myra. Myra. $160 full art Myra. This is also a Tammy card. Let's take another look into this. What's this? Oh, don't try to buy into the Meowth. The Meowth is done, okay? Meowth is sold. Okay, by the way, this is Myra. Final Fantasy. Fantasy. Sort this by lowest price. Okay, here's the dealio, Tammy. I'm seeing the same card priced by PSA at $100. $100. So, once again, sometimes markets shift a little bit. Okay, how's this looking, by the way? This looks nice. I ought to have, you know what I ought to have? I ought to have some stuff that can clean fingerprints off of a slab, too. Not just dust and debris, but like smudges. Okay, so that's coming down. New price tag on that. So these are more competitive prices. Okay, Myra shall be... So PSA $100. Let's make this $75. I think that's really competitive. All right. All right, there we go. Maybe we should check this Lycia's Appeal real fast. This music's pretty. We're going to say Lycia Appeal 091. Yes, this card is cheaper now. Go ahead and click this. Let's see. So there is one for $205. Okay, $205. We're going to go ahead and reset this. And make sure that we keep these prices real competitive. We don't want the market to get away from us. You'll notice I don't check some cards because I already know they're so cheap that there's no way it went much below that. But, you know, some cards I do check because I have a intuition for it. I have an intuition for it, okay? 9.25. I go, that card could have gotten cheaper. Like this card over here is $35. He can lower it to $30 if he wants. There probably isn't even another one of these for sale at all. But if there is, it's probably about $35, $40. So it's not getting much cheaper than that, I promise. And then the Metagross, PSA 9. We'll take a quick look at this one as well. This one could be a little bit cheaper. Oops. No, I don't want this. Okay, unlike that. Unsafe. Okay, let's go ahead and close this. PSA 9. Meta Gross. Blue Sky First. All right. It'd be cool if we had someone sitting right next to me. So his price is good. Look at this. The cheapest one is $67 plus $15 shipping. That's like $80. So his price is actually really good. That's a nice price on this holographic Metagross. There you have it. Let's take a picture and move on to that break now. Very nice. All updated, competitive prices. There we go. Good, good, good. If someone goes to Lucia's appeal, does the FBI come knocking on your door? Big feet, Jigglypuff, gotta be big deck of Pokemon cards. What? All right, yeah, degreaser would be cool, wouldn't it? Nice degreaser. Now, we did receive an order from our friend Jared Line. He says a Meowth spot. Hey, Meowth. Oops. Mr. James Cathcart. Here you go. All right. Oh, I'm writing down James. That's the name of the guy whose signature it is. Jared Line. Okay. Let's go ahead and count these up, make sure they add up. Oh, it's an exciting time. We've had that Meowth for a while. All right. Rest in peace, Mr. James. All right. It's kind of special collecting his signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have all the people. Okay. Good. And let's grab this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there we go. We've got all 14. All right. Oops. Who's here? Sign in. I want to see who's here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. Who's here? Who's here tonight? Who's not here tonight? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ooh. Muscle Man's here. Jay Oliver, Steven Gonzalez, Lord Pop-Tart, NHCC. Alex is here. Hello, Alex. How's life going, Alex? Anything interesting going on in life? Miss Janice is here as well. Hello, Janice. How are you today? All right. Give me a number. Shinobi NSX, Mr. Emmanuel Valencia, Squid Pokemon, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, lovely. Set this over here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oops, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 names. Move that out of my way. Good luck, breakers. Oh, yeah. Somebody's walking away with a high-class card here, man. This is classy. Very cool. Okay. Mr. James Cathcart liked making music. So if you ever go look him up on YouTube, you'll run into some of the music he made. Be sure to go give it a listen. Yes. That's a cool thing, you know, that you leave behind. I've thought about that. One day I'm going to pass away probably. And all my videos are going to stay up on the internet for, like, anyone who knows me to watch. How crazy will that be? So 100 years from now, maybe somebody will look up an old Cardconomist video and be like, wow, that guy was cringe. We are? All right. Give me a number. Has Yesman come in yet? I don't think he has. 2? Oh, that's right. We got to tell him he got that SAR. All right, there it is. There we go. Oh, yeah. We got David Smith. Sorry, David. David Smith. Oh, wow. All that shuffling and both his names showed up in a row. Funny. Oh, what? His... Oh, man. You know, it's funny. Only shuffling could end with your name right in a row like that. So that's really interesting. Here's Sarah Dusenberry. That was a lot of shuffling and his name all showed up right next to each other. David Smith. Wow. That's crazy. But that's how shuffling works. Shuffling could end that way, you know, where instead of pushing all your names apart, it somehow crams them all together. Here's 6. Ah, sorry, 6. It's a miss. Here's Emmanuel Valencia. Here's Brandon Warder. That's a cold one. Who's still in? Who's still in at this point? Okay. Zachary Stacks. Sorry, Zach. Here's NHCC. Cold. Alicia. Could it be Alicia? Oh, sorry, Alicia. Here's David Smith. Oh, man, that guy missed a couple shots, didn't he? Oh, man, I feel bad for him. Okay, and I didn't know he had so many. Brett Love. No way. Is this Brett Love? Mr. Brett Love. Wow, he's been in a lot of breaks, and normally he misses. So this is nice for him. He's missed a lot of breaks. I think this is the first time he's pulled a big one. He's going to want to see that. Okay, and Jared. You were right at the end, Jared. You must have been palm sweaty, mom spaghetti. Sorry, man. It's going to go to Brett. We like Brett. When Brett rolls around, sometimes he goes real deep and opens up some big things. I mean, he's opened up some really big things. He's been in a number of breaks, and he invariably almost always misses. And so, but this time he's going to pull this 14-spot Meowth. So it's almost like he's caught up by 13 cold ones, if you think about it, right? He can miss 13 breaks in a row and catch up to break even by just landing this one 14-spot break. Isn't that interesting? It is. So he just kept going in, I guess. I should send him a picture. There you are. Okay. Okay, that'll probably make his day. Grab this. This goes here. Sorry to everyone else who might have missed. David Smith went kind of deep. Sorry, David. Dang, dude. I see that a lot, by the way. I see that where people will go kind of deep and someone else will win on one spot. That's just kind of the nature of it. If it's a 14-spot break and you have 5 spots, that means there's 9 spots where you miss. So your odds are actually still pretty bad. There we go. All right. So I'm going to take a picture of this for Mr. Brett. It means go deeper. Yeah, maybe it does. Where's Brett? Here he is. Take a picture. You pulled this today. 1 in 14 odds. Congrats. All right, there we go. Nice. Okay, now we can take this and slip it in here. Brett Love. Good. And, oops, did I put this bag away too soon? I did. Wow, the Meowth break is off the table. That one took a little while. So what are the breaks today? And I'm asking you guys again, is there anything I can add to the table that you will really like? Oh, this is the Martin Bounty for the first person to pull an SIR in English. So here we have it. We got some nice evolutions right here and here. We got a nice vintage Aerodactyl. We have a nice vintage Topps Moltres. We got a Trafalgar and a Cloud. I guess we have to choose a new star card at this point, don't we? This. I'm going to make it Cloud. Let's get Cloud out of here. Bye, Cloud. Okay, Cloud's going to go eventually. He's a really cool card. I was kind of sad that more people didn't jump into him over time. There we are. Look at that Tammy card. Isn't that nice? All right. Jared says, bummer. You're real close, man. You're real close. Okay. Okay. You guys talking about that guy that came in here? He felt really like he was trying to aggravate, didn't he? Felt really strange. Yeah, I didn't like that one bit. I heard he was talking crap or something like that. Like he left and talked crap on another live stream. I didn't like that either. So, wild stuff. I don't know why people behave that way. It's so unnecessary. It's like antisocial or something. So uncouth. All right. I was about to jump into the Cloud, but realized it wasn't wave 1. If this was Wave 1 Cloud, I think he'd cost quite a bit more. Let's see. How's Cloud doing these days? PSA 10, Opus, Cloud. If your rule is that you'll strictly only collect Opus 1 Wave 1, you're going to have to pay... Looks like you're going to have to pay... So, the cheapest Wave 1 Cloud looks like it's $1,400. But not just that, it's really quite a bit more after you've actually paid the taxes. So let's see what the taxes would look like on this. So for me in Missouri, you would really pay just about $1,500. So that's about $1,500 is a lot of money. Let's see. And then after that, are there any other clouds? I mean, there's some 9.5 BGS Wave 1, not Wave 1, but like, that's Wave 2. They want $300, but that's 9.5. Let me check sold. Maybe there's something interesting in sold, but... Okay. So it looks like on July 6th, a Wave 2 sold for $500. All right. So there you have it. So I believe my price is kind of where it should be. I tell you what, to make him a little more exciting, because I know he didn't move much, to make him a little more exciting, I'll accept a lower price on him. I'll make the odds 1 in 20 now, because he really didn't move too much for a while. But also, he's in a competition with a lot of other slabs, and he's pretty niche. So we're going to say 1 in 20. Okay, so he's 2 spots cheaper. That's like $80 off all of a sudden. And then we're still going to have him be the star card. There it is. So he's a little more attractive now, but now you've seen the prices. You would have to pay like $1,500, almost double that, to get the Wave 1. There's a market for Wave 2, you know, like it's pretty normal to collect Wave 2. Wave 1 was just this little special thing in Opus 1. It doesn't exist for any other Final Fantasy Opus card set. You know, there's not like Wave 1 Opus 2, right? That doesn't exist. So it was just this one print run. You know, it's a bit of it's a very niche thing is what I'm trying to tell you. So Diglett, he's very cute. Carddass Diglett getting priced for the first time. What do you guys think of these cool Quest sticker cards? Pretty interesting. Mister, you should sell us Pokemon Hershey Candy Chocolate. Pokemon Hershey Candies Chocolate. I'm going to sell it to you. There's Diglett. Quest. I bet you he's not even here. Let's see. Oh, there is one. Okay, so he's about $210. Good. 210. We're going to say 9.25. Okay. All right. Let's see. The Mega Break. The Trafalgar Law Break. Oops. Espeon Break. What are we missing? Are we missing anything? Moltres. Aerodactyl Fossil. Jolteon. Cloud. We've got this Martin thing going on. We got the pack split going on. Maybe like a cheap modern card. We've got a cheap vintage card. We actually got kind of like 2 cheap vintage cards. We don't have a cheap modern card. We got 2 expensive modern cards. I think we've got a lot of breaks going on already. These are all pretty nice. Yeah, we just reached a point where the James C. Cathcart card has moved off the table, and the Beard guy has moved off the table. I like where we're at right now. It feels nice. All right. How's everyone going tonight? Hey, how's it going, Miss Sarah? I got into a scuffle with my parents. You were arguing with them? There you go. Be sure to try to get along with them, okay? You don't have to agree with them on everything. Just be, you know, don't say something you'll regret later. Or maybe that's what I'm trying to say. The queue is empty. The queue is empty. So this means we're going to focus on the commission slabs, which I have to get a picture of all these. So we got 5 of these cards here. Let's see. We've got a nice Carddass Rattata for 30. That's correct. That might be underpriced. Here's Costume Wearing Suzu, Pristine. That's a holographic card. 40 is fine. We're going to check this one. We're going to check the Ace of Spades Ho-Oh. He could have gone up. This card could have easily gone up. All right. Let me sleeve this for you. Now, I think my parents mean well. No more purchasing, I'm afraid. Yeah, we are. Magikarp. And here is Elsa and Anna. Ooh. All right. I settled down, though. That's good. That's good. What was their main argument? We'd love to hear it, if you're allowed to divulge those details. Oh, poker. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, so there's one for $250 now. The same exact card, $250 now. Okay, let's see. My parents said I'm buying trash. We are? All right. We are. Ooh. $250, and we're going to update this to say $925. I can understand them feeling that way about card collecting. You know, card collecting is sort of like this brand new thing, so people are still trying to figure out how they feel about it. But your parents are like from an older generation, so I don't know. I think the only way for you to convince them that it's all right, you would have to buy like a Pokemon card that, or like any card that ends up making you more money than you spent on it. And so you need that scenario to occur to convince them otherwise. I think you'd have to do that. Here we are, Magikarp, yellow. Let's take a quick look at that. So we're going to look up Poker Magikarp, right? Okay, Poker Magikarp. Let's see. I'm recommending moving this down to about 190. Okay. Yeah, I would say if you wanted to convince your parents otherwise, you need like a Pokemon card that you bought it for like $200 and then it goes to $300. That's what you would need. Okay. I'm going to give this a quick reprice to 190. This price is a made-up price. It's not based on anything, but we're going to make it a little more enticing. It's closer in price to the red price now. And then here's Elsa Anna. I think 200 is quite high for this. I'm going to hold on to that Black Label Rainbow Zard. Nice. Okay. Okay, let's see. PSA 10. 1 heart. Elsa. All right. There's one in auction for 100. Let me see if I can get a last sold. Oh, on June 10th, it sold for 200. No, this is not the wrong price. That is the correct price. Last sold 200, everybody. Last sold price. All right. Here you go. So that's looking good. This is all good to go. Let's see if any orders came in the meantime. I'm going to hold back. Oh, I already read that. Okay, let's see. Oops, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and grab this. How are you guys tonight? Let's go ahead and grab... the consignment channel. Haha. Yeah, ultimately, Brandon, your parents can't actually tell you what to do with your money, and you probably know that. You know, your parents are there to give you advice, and the problem is if you fight with them, you can have a very uncomfortable relationship, but ultimately it's your money. They can't tell you what to do with it. Like, they can really strongly get angry at you, or they can say, we don't want you to be around us or live around us. So they can do stuff like that, but they can't, you know, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. They can't withhold it from you. If your parents were withholding your money, you could just go straight to a lawyer or judge and say, hey, my parents, they're not letting me touch my money. So there's nothing you're an adult, there's nothing they could do to stop you from spending it. Now, but let's talk about their concern. So their concern is that, you know, you're spending your money on trash. That is correct if you spend, let's say $100, or let's say you spend $1,000 and you only walk away with like, I don't know, like $50 of cards. They're actually correct in that scenario. And so in order for your parents to feel comfortable with what you're doing with cards, you have to be able to buy some cards and then they actually make you money. And that's pretty hard to do. That's hard to do, I would say. One way to look at card collecting, it's not really meant to make you money. So that's the other thing. You know, if you ever want to open cards just for fun, you need to tell your parents something like, look, I'm not opening cards to make money. This is just something I'm doing for fun because I like collecting. And I think if you had a very reasonable amount that you spent, if they still protested that, I would be like, Mom, Dad, you got to get up out of my grill. You know, because people do spend money doing stuff like going on vacation. They buy stuff like jewelry. They buy maybe a cool shirt or something like that. You know, you dress nice. But they're just looking out for you. Maybe they're concerned at the amount that you're spending. Like maybe if you're just spending $150 every now and then. But if you spend like a whole bunch in one go and then it doesn't really turn into anything, maybe that's their concern. I'm not sure. But you're an adult. They can't actually tell you what to do with your money. But I would, you know, if I were you, if you ever come back to card collecting, because I think you do enjoy it. That's the thing. I think you actually enjoy it. I would work harder to make sure that you're maximizing the profitability of what card you're opening. So like, for example, when you're picking out a set, pick out a set where you know the cards are going up in price. When you open them, please do not give them away. Do not give any more cards away. Don't make any trades with anybody. No more trades. No more trades, no more giveaways. No more trades, no more giveaways. So don't make any funny trades with anyone and don't do any giveaways at all. Take your cards, have them analyzed for grading, and then try to get a couple 10s and then ship them home and sell them on eBay or something like that, you know? And then you can kind of prove that, hey, you know, cards do make people money. That's why they're so crazy right now. Cards do go up in price. They do flip. I told them I'd move out, but they don't want that either. Asian parents are interesting. Here's a Scavalier. Here we are. Yeah, you know, that financial guy, what's his name? Dave Ramsey? Dave Ramsey talks about this. He talks about needing boundaries. So it's like you need to be able to say, you know, you guys can have this much influence or control over me up to this point, but you don't cross this particular line. One line could be something like, you can't tell me how to spend my money. It's mine. I made it. I went to work for it. Now it's mine. But your parents just want you to be successful. That's all. And so they want you to take your money and do the most successful thing with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you should take your money and have a little bit of fun. Like, you know, Kirsten and I bought a little Toyota SUV this year, and we didn't have to do that. We could have just kept using our janky car, but that cost us some money. So that's fun money. And isn't that the point of having money? Ask yourself something, Mr. Brandon. Let's say you were already $10 million rich. You're just supposed to spend it. It doesn't do anything. It's just a piece of paper. It's like this thing right here, you know? It's just a piece of material that we made, and you're supposed to spend it. You're not just supposed to die with $10 million in your account. That's stupid. So if you died tomorrow with like $10 million in your account, congratulations. You spent all your time working and you didn't spend your money. So the goal of making money is so that you can buy the things that you want. And so you should really think about what you enjoy. I think you enjoy card collecting at least a little bit, but you can make a list of all the things you enjoy. Many people enjoy things like traveling. People enjoy different hobbies, maybe like woodcrafting. I'm into woodcrafting. Maybe they enjoy buying properties. Maybe they enjoy buying a nice car. Maybe they enjoy going out on girlfriend dates, buying them dinner, or boyfriend dates, whatever it is. But, you know, whatever it is people like spending their money on, that's the whole point of the money. It's not for anything else. You're just supposed to have enough money to pay for your home, pay for your retirement, and then play. You're supposed to play. So stuff like retirement and buying a house, those are like chores that you have to get done. You have to make enough money to retire, and you have to make enough money to buy a house and food and medical. And then you're supposed to have a little bit of leftover money. You're just supposed to play with that money. So that's why I would probably recommend to you, you know, if you're having a lot of debates with your parents about how money should be spent, I would say, well, look, I want to put some money away for retirement. I want to put some money into a home. And then this is my playing around money, X amount. It's, you know, roughly X percentage of my income, and I just get to do whatever I want with it. For example, I can just go give it to the local ice cream man, and that's just my choice to do whatever I want to do. Maybe I want to buy a skateboard today. You know what I mean? But actually, this is a really good question for AI this time. Let's ask AI, what percentage of my income should be spent on just playing around, like even if I were to just lose all the money? All right, let's see what AI has to say on the subject. Good question. You're asking, how much of my income can I allocate to pure fun and risk? Rule of thumb, 5 to 10% of your income. There you go. So it says, so if you're making, let's say 70,000 a year, that should be easy, right? That's 7,000. So 7,000 divided by 12, that's about $580 a month of playing around money. So there you go. If you are hoarding all the money, you could die and not have really lived because you hoarded all your money really strictly. And the reason that this is fun for me to talk about is because I actually have the problem where I hoard my money. I'm not very good at spending my money on fun. Here's a thing. He says, part 1/2 of my order, 4 total packs of Hello Kitty. Okay, and here's the second part. Here it is, 4 packs of Hello Kitty. All right. I would say just move out with the intention of buying that home. Then parents are more likely to not bother, to be honest. Here we are. I don't know if I necessarily agree with Tammy. If you have a nice thing going on with your parents, I don't think there's any shame in actually living with your parents. It's rough these days. The cost of rent, unbelievable. The cost of a home, unbelievable. But your parents, if they really want you to stay and you want to stay with them, they have to allow you to have fun a little bit. And then you have to have a reasonable plan. So I would show them that, because that's how parents are always going to be. Parents are always going to get their nose in your stuff, and then they're going to tell you how to play the game, how to live life. They're always trying to play the video game for you because they're like, we did it already. We're better at it than you. We don't trust you to do it well. So you guys say, Mom, Dad, I'm either getting my own place or you guys are going to let me have a little bit of fun. But I can't put 100% of my money into investments because, you know, I'm getting older and I want to have a little fun. But your parents could be concerned. Like, again, if you're taking all your money and generously giving it away to somebody, or you're buying too many Pokemon cards too fast and it's actually a loss, not a gain. Like, I remember when you first came on the channel, you were buying a lot of Weiss Schwartz cards, and then you made trades, including with me. You made trades. You traded a lot of the cards away before grading them. And I was telling you, I was saying you should grade them and then trade them, or grade them and then sell them on eBay. But you were just, you know, kind of trading them right away because what you wanted to do is take the cash and open even more cards. And I knew from experience that that's not a very good method unless you just get weirdly lucky for some reason. But on average, it's not a good method because, you know, once you've secured a hit, you're supposed to go grade that hit. Look at that. I got to sneeze again. Oh, man. Been deep watching Alien Earth. Hey, what's up, Mr. Brett? Check it out, man. Check this out. You got a beautiful James C. Cathcart Meowth. So James Cathcart was the voice of Meowth from the anime. And he was also the voice of Professor Oak and the voice of Gary Oak. And he voiced a couple Pokemon, too. So he passed away about a month ago. So, you know, this is our little rest in peace break, basically. It gives him some attention, some highlight, and one of you guys gets to have it in your inventory. I'm sorry, in your collection. I think I'm talking like a business over here. You get to have it in your personal collection and be like, hey, see this? This was the signature of the guy who voiced Meowth. And he's not making any more of these signatures now, right? That's the idea. That's why it's so special to actually have this. And, you know, when you look at a card convention, one sit down at a convention, they could sign, you know, because the convention lasts 2 days. And they tend to last like 12, not 12 hours, is it 12 hours? Like 8 hours. So in 2 days, 8 hours per day, they could sign like 400 new signatures. But he's done. He won't sign anymore. So that's a special thing. It's all yours. You got it for 40 bucks. That's really good. Hathim, pulling some beautiful Hello Kitty cards. I love these Hello Kitty cards. Here we are. All right. As long as you have a good career going and able to liquidate your personal collection if you need the money, then you should be fine. I think it's about limiting how much you spend on the collecting in order to make your parents feel like you're taking retirement seriously, because I assume they care about your retirement. But then the other thing is showing your parents that, so you got to be responsible and spend a limited amount, and showing them that you have some skill in being able to actually flip the cards and get your money back out, at least as much as you spent. So if you spent $800, you'll want to walk away with maybe $880. And then you can say, look, that's a 10% gain, you know, and this is just what I do for fun. And even if I lost 800, I'm okay with that because that's my spending money. That's my playing around money. And so again, Chat GPT recommended that about 10% of your income be used for playing, and 90% is used for your bills and for retirement and for medical. So you save 90 and then you play with 10%. That's what AI recommended. Some of us are probably not really doing that rule. I mean, I don't even think I do that. I think I just kind of buy. But I'm in a lucky position in life where I deal in Pokemon cards, so I get to do that, you know. But I know before I was really doing this in a big way, I really was just emptying my bank accounts into Pokemon cards. So maybe your parents are seeing you behave a little bit like that, and they're getting worried for you. They're like, well, don't touch any more of your money. They're like, leave some of that money alone. But I think you also mentioned one time that your dad was having you take money and put it into a CD account in the bank, and is like, man, I don't know about that. I mean, look, I want to talk to you about my stocks, and I don't invest a lot. I just have a little bit invested. Oops. So here's my Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, and it says I'm up 19%. 19% return. I mean, a CD is not going to do that. A CD is going to give you like 3 to 4%. It's just not good. That's not a good return on your money. That's good for the bank. The bank loves that. The bank's like, yeah, we'll give you 4%. Give us all that money. Then they turn around and they loan it out for like 15%. All right, let's take a look at these consignment cards. So starting out, we have this Anthony Haymeyer Palafin. Palafin's hard to move. I'm definitely not doing that rule. Yeah, I mean, some of us are just having fun. People might be spending up to like 50% of their income. If you're real crazy, you might just be spending every last dollar. And, but you know, it matters what you do with it after you're done. Like, let's say you bought a lot of cards over here. Maybe you opened a lot of Destined Rivals or something, and you got a couple good cards out of there. Well, you need to get them graded, and then you need to get them listed to get your money back out of it. Okay, this card has gone down slightly. We're going to relist it at 35. But ultimately, there's people who collect Pokemon cards not because they view it as a way to make money, but just as a way to have fun. There you go. All right. Collecting doesn't have to be about, oh, I'm a card shop now. I'm a card shop now. You got to do the card shop dance. Right? It doesn't have to be that way. Everyone doesn't have to be a card shop. You could actually just be having fun, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to feel guilty for having fun. Crystal Dominion, Celeste. Wow, Celeste is $275. That's expensive. These Final Fantasy cards are pricey. All right, there are none for sale. $220 is a good price. We're going to keep it there. Leaving the Nest for $40. There it is. Look at that. Beautiful. From Pokemon the movie. Very reasonable. I think that's a reasonable price. PSA 9 price. Haymeyer's Signature Blood Fiend. All right, let's see what you guys are saying now. Let's see. As long as you have a good career and you're going to liquidate your personal collection, if you need money, you should be fine. Let's see. Yep, bought Cosmic at $70 each. Sold at $4,500 each. Bought as collection because I like the set. Then Lovebird from Team Up was 20 each raw. I'm definitely not doing that rule. Well, sleepy time for me. Good night, everyone. Have a nice night, Mr. Hawaiian Rifleman. He also says, why doesn't Arceus need a trainer? It's God tier. Haha, what? I have a 13-month CD maturing that was just terrible at 4.9% that matures next month, never again. Did you hear that, Brandon? So he got 4.9% return in the same time period that the stock market kind of jumped. And I personally felt the stock market was going to do well under Donald Trump. So far, that has been true. That doesn't mean it'll be true the whole time. 4 years is a long time, right? But I personally felt the stock market would probably do better than worse. And that has played out somewhat. And I could be wrong. Maybe it ends with a big crash. We don't know. But I didn't feel like there was anything in particular that made me feel like he was going to screw it up real bad, you know? Actually, what he keeps saying he wants to do, he keeps saying he wants to drop interest rates, and that would make the economy kind of jump. All right, so this card can be purchased, it looks like, for $250. So it might have come down in price a little bit. Okay, $250. Any movement on the Ancient Origins? No, not really. It's just really expensive to jump into now, and because the box keeps going up in price. It is. All right. I should host a break on it. There we go. Or put like a booster pack of it in the live customs or something. All right. Yeah, that one's a slow mover for sure. I show it off. Do you guys want to see the box? It's a real box. It really exists. Here it is. Your future, your fate could be in here. Ancient Origins, guys. A sealed box, unweighed. A real shot for Rayquaza, Mega Rayquaza. He's like $7,000 or some crazy number like that. Real shot at him right here. Whoever gets him, gets him. Or whatever else is in the box. It could be anything. We don't know yet. But it's going to be nice. That is nice. That is the only way to open those, by the way. You want to open them just like that. Unweighed packs coming out of a sealed box. So Adam wants $69 for this South Park card. Adam, I am recommending probably about $40 for this. South Park is very niche, and I don't think anyone wants to spend $70 on, you know, this is essentially a common card, right? That's kind of how they work. I just think that it will be hard to move this. We will leave it at 69 if you like. It's got all the boys on it, so you think it would be more popular. But yeah, I just think it's harder than that to move those South Park cards. The other option, of course, is eBay, by the way. We can also forward those kind of cards to a consignor. So there's all kinds of options. But we will leave it at 69 for the moment. Okay, take a picture of it. All these cards have been updated. Mr. Haymeyer's card is updated. Tammy's card is the correct price, by the way. This card got updated too. I had to move out from my parents to get perspective and kick myself in gear. Now I work all the time. I wasn't going anywhere, though, was very depressed. Yeah, actually, that's fair to say, too. You know, Brandon, if you could move out of your family's home and live on your own or get a roommate, that can really do a great thing for your personal development. It, you know, kind of matures you a little bit, kind of tosses you out in the wild, gives you a feeling of autonomy. The advantage of being with your family is you get to be with your family, especially if you like them. Also, you guys save money living together. They do that in a lot of countries. In a lot of countries, everyone lives together. The child, the mom and the dad, and the grandparents all share one home. And I think you see more of that in the United States these days, because even a small home costs $1 billion now. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You just have to find a way to balance it. I think originally it would have been a pretty bad thing for dating, because maybe like in the early 2000s, most girls would have expected you to have a home or something like an apartment. But considering the price of homes and apartments now, they probably look at you and be like, that's pretty normal. You know, like I'm living with my parents. So if everyone's living with their parents, it's not so awkward or strange. We have no orders in the queue. We've got an empty queue tonight. Bit of a slow Sunday, isn't it? Sundays are always a bit slow, aren't they? I have the South Park #1 I bought from you. Yes, if you've got a PSA 10 South Park card, that's another story. The 10s are pretty hard to grade, and so there's going to be a lot of 9s and not a lot of 10s. But the 10s are pretty hard to grade, and with such a newer set, not newer, but like, I call it new vintage, right? A vintage set that people aren't collecting, and they're experiencing it for the first time. With the set like that, the 9s are going to be pretty cheap. The 10s are going to move, and it's not until that set has proven the extremely high desirability of the 10s that the 9s begin to move too. That's kind of how it works. And so, you know, you can sit on the 9 and wait for it to go up. You could sell it cheap and move your money into grading more South Park cards, which is probably the better strategy. Or you can keep the price high and see if somebody chances by it and says, hey, I want that. I hate my family, so I have to pay big bucks. I totally understand that, man. I had the same issue. Yeah, I had a lot of struggle at home. I did not have a happy home. We had a crazy home. We had like one of those crazy homes you hear about the news, where it's like homeschooled family of 50 kids. You know what I mean? Ooh, Wario. Wario. All right. Wow, Luigi. All right. I'll buy in when it's the last spot. I don't have patience for breaks, says Troy Malice. we are. All right, so this is going to say 80. WTF, lol, that's the difference. What? Okay. That's going to say $80. And then we're going to say, oh, I'm still using the blue marker. I'm so dumb. So we've had these Mario cards now, and surprisingly, they have been selling. The Mario cards have been selling. They're a bit experimental, aren't they? But take a look. They're from 2010. They're actually plenty old. That makes this a 15-year-old card. And I already sell other poker cards. Look at this cute card. I like this one a lot. I like this style a lot. What do you guys think of this style? That's nice. That's Princess Peach. I will definitely buy in when it's down to like the last two. I have no patience for anything. Can I get a nacho? I am. Do 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 do. Scoo-doo-ba-doo. I wanna win. I wake up in a bed all by myself. It's the best. Yes. Beneath the man, we find his clothes. And beneath the clothes, we find his nucleus. Yes. Let's see. Ooh, Luigi. Send my slab away order. Ooh. We got a big Brett order. We are. All right, Mr. Brett. Let me go ahead and pop a price on this. Okay. All right. Okay. Very nice. Let's just see. We're going to hit refresh on this. I do not believe in God. I only believe in science. So 3 live customs, Mr. Brett. We got a 1. We got a 2. And we got a 3. That is 3 cold live customs. Oof. The live customs are vicious. 1 prismatic SPC. Ooh. The prismatic SPC, you say. Sounds good. All right, let's go grab it. I am a real religious man. There we go. We gotta have some Nacho Libre sound effects. That's an old movie now. Here it is. Oh yeah. He may get the SAR bounty. All right. Yeah, there's a bounty, by the way, guys. Who put out the bounty? Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin put out the bounty. Mr. Martin put. Dooba dooba doo dooba 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 doo. All right. Mr. Martin was lonely. Mr. Martin was. All right. Ooh, it's good stuff. Ooh. What bounty? There's a bounty. Oh, that looks clean this time. Look at that. That one's looking real clean. So, when they're this clean, you might have a shot at a 10 on them. And then it almost pays for the whole box by itself. So that's good. Okay. Good. Okay. Is that in? That's in. Okay. So. Dooba dooba doo dooba 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 doo. Let them pull an SAR in English. Yes, here's the bounties. The Martin bounty. Martin has donated this first edition Dunsparce 10 to whoever pulls the first SAR in English. Is it SAR or SIR? I don't remember the terms. I thought the Japanese one was SAR and the English one is SIR. But basically, whoever pulls the first alternative art. I missed the bounty. Mr. Martin was the subject of the sentence, and what the predicate says he does. That's old Schoolhouse Rock. Do you guys remember Schoolhouse Rock? Snip this. All right. So wholesome. Snip of this. I had the funniest dream. Really? I fell asleep earlier with the stream on, and I wound up having a dream about Mr. telling me how to buy Pokemon cards responsibly so my parents wouldn't get mad. Oh, there you go. Step number 1. Hide your Pokemon cards from your parents. Step number 2. Ooh, I thought that was going to be it right there, man. Vaporeon EX. Okay, Vaporeon. Da, 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 da. I'm just a bill. That's the one everyone knows. There's a lot of other ones. Nowadays, that song's not relevant. Let me tell you how a bill passes now. So you either have a supermajority, or because the Democrats and the Republicans hate each other so much, you either have a supermajority, and then a couple of your own people in your own party are holdouts because they say we better get what we want, or we won't vote with the rest of you. And then it gets to the president and gets signed, or you own the Supreme Court, and so instead of the law getting passed as a bill, it gets passed as a sort of like interpretation of the Constitution through the Supreme Court. There we go. So a bill didn't pass that said now we have gay marriage. A Supreme Court justice decided, along with their colleagues, that it's okay for people to be married, and that was it. Not exactly how we were supposed to do it. We were supposed to pass a bill to have a law that says, yes, we recognize gay marriage. That's how it probably should have been done that way, because you're going to have this exact scenario play out where you're going to have Republicans come out and say, oh, no, that can't be a thing. You know, like super Christian religious types. Here's Friends in Paldea. Here we are. All right. Just like Roe v. Wade got turned. Ooh, Glaceon got overturned. Okay. Any bets on government shutdown this year? I'm betting it. Larvitar. Well, not this year. The Republicans have what's called a supermajority, like I was just talking about, which means the only blunder Republicans can have is within their own party. Sneasel. Airy. So if some Republicans are holdouts on passing a bill because the Republican Party doesn't like cooperate with itself, that could be the only thing that stops a Republican bill for passing for raising the debt ceiling. And they don't even need the Democrats. Here we are. Oh, look at that Carmine. All right. Nice. Okay. Very good. You do get the Eevee. He's so nice. Now, after the midterms, that could be another story. After the midterms, the Democrats could potentially take back the House or the Senate, which is the more likely scenario. The Republicans have a very slim majority in the Senate. And so the Democrats can take back the Senate, and that means we will have total gridlock when it comes to passing bills. And so next time they try to refinance the government, the Democrats and Republicans will just fight with each other instead of passing a bill. And then the government will do a government shutdown. It'll be really fun. I could be here, and you could be here. We could talk about it, and we could be like so informed. Mr. Brett, I liked the Eevee this round. You also got one Master Ball. So this one right here, the Execute Master Ball, he's okay. Yeah, a number of Pokeball hollows as well. All right, but the story this time, Mr. Brett, is the Eevee looked good, which is nice because usually the Eevee doesn't look good. Here we are. When are you sending your next tag grading? Very soon, Mr. Jared. Speaking of which, I was working on it, and there was a guy who's got 2 submissions to go out with tag, but they're in Korean. And I guess I didn't notice that when we set it up, but I can't accept those. Tag doesn't do Korean language. We are. So they don't grade Korean yet. Maybe they will soon. They should soon, really. Team Rocket's Tyranitar break. Jump into that break. Is that even worth grading? Let's send it to tag. I would love to do that. So we get, did you know this, Mr. Brett? I'm a tag dealer now. They gave me the special password, and I am an authorized tag dealer. I don't really know what that means entirely, but I know what it turns into. It means that I've got to deal with them where we get a little preferential treatment on our turnaround time and the prices. And so our middleman fee for tag grading is now only $30. So put that in perspective, we're doing 40 with PSA, 30 for tag. And the best part is the wait time's not that long. So with PSA, you might wait about 3 months, which is a pretty long time. With tag, it seems like we might wait 2 weeks to 4 weeks. That's what I was told. 2 to 4 weeks turnaround time. I should have submitted the EV SAR for grading. In my bag, I have a Topps Halo foil. Can you tell me if it will grade higher than a 9? If so, I'll have you send it in for grading. Hey, what's up, Jared? What you're referring to is pre-grading. What I can do is I can show you the card on screen. When we're opening it, when we're opening the card, I might comment on the potential grade of the card. If you're wanting me to hand out like an actual grade to the card, we do something called pre-grades. I think it's like $3 per card. Here's this. All right, so Brett. Love. Now, if you want, I'll show it on screen for you, and you can make your own choice on it, and without my opinion. Brett, we're gonna place this over here. It's very popular, actually, Jared. A lot of people want the pre-grade. There we go. Mister's a dealer, I'm telling you. The good kind of dealer. The grading dealer. Oh, we have an order here from Michael Ibarra. He says 3 packs of Pokemon Black. You got it, man. Okay. Pokemon Black. I just spent an enormous amount of money acquiring a whole bunch of Pokemon Black Bolt. I think it's a decent product, and I think it'll sell for a while. And I think it's one of those products that'll go to like 20 bucks eventually. But right now it's cheaper, and I'd like to have lots of this in supply. Okay, so we got Beartic, we got Kyurem. Look at that Kyurem. Ooh, we've got Crystal. It's Crystal. And here's Chinchino End Plan. All right, nice try, man. Michael Ibarra, everybody. He's got Kyurem and End Plan. We've never pulled the red Victini. There's a red Victini somewhere in here. Someone needs to pull him. He's one of the best cards in the Scarlet Violet time period, if you want to call it that. Here we are. Mask. What is a slab that just sits in a rotation? I don't know what you mean by that. There we go. Okay. Setting that there. All right. I need the ketchup card. I need the mustard card. We have a Pop 1 Chansey here. Look at that. Pop 1 Chansey, everybody. Have you ever seen anything so strange? Okay. Here's a really affordable Koro Lickitung. He's got a cornucopia of food on his tongue. Very cute. That's a piece of Pokemon history right there. Here's Mario Hanafuda. Very cute. $48. Yoshi Egg. There's the Mega Gengar. Mega popular. Here's a nice... so this is Ty Lee Popular. That's the Anthony Kalura's. And that is a nice consignment slab. Also, here's a nice Magikarp Red for $140. We just had a Magikarp Yellow, and I lowered its price because the red's $140. So, Brett, I'll set this here for now. Need to know how much to send for the tag. Tag grading is $30 per card, Brett. It's a good price. 30 is good. 30 includes a lot. It includes me shipping it to them and me paying for the return shipping, too. So, 30 is not bad. And it's yeah, I mean it's pretty good, and they did mention that the turnaround shouldn't be too bad either. So I feel like that's actually a really good deal. Here you go. Jared wants to see the pre-grade on his cards. Okay, so Jared, let's take a quick look. You were asking for a pre-grade on which card? I have a Topps Halo 4, Topps Halo foil. Foil time. All right, and it's not in here. It's in the other bag then. Let's go find it, Mr. Jared. We're going to assign a grade to it. Probably this one, huh? That's a foil. Do you also have a... that's gradable. You got a couple gradable cards, it looks like. Oh, yeah, that's good. I like that. Transparent Master Chief, Master Queef. Flip this around. There we go. There we go. That's gradable. Redemption card. Do not redeem! So with the redemption card, you already redeemed it, right? Let me go ahead and put an energy card in front of the code so that I don't ever accidentally reveal that on stream. We don't want to reveal that on stream. Okay, a little transparent Master Queef there. He's nice. So you must be asking about the one in the top side loader, I should say, not top loader. That transparent and tag would be super clean. Yeah, it would, although I don't know if tag grading would actually grade that. They have a limited scope of cards that they grade. Okay. Here you go. You ready? So time for that pre-grade. Thanks, Mr. Brett. Oh, yeah, looking real good. That looks great on the front. Okay, let me check the back. Uh-huh. Okay, my biggest concern is that it might be shifted to the left. It's very clean. I'm worried that it will fail the centering. I believe the card might be shifted to the left. The Halo logo itself feels like it's shifted that way. And so they will probably measure this portion right here versus this portion. They might measure this and this as well. Although that looks a bit better centered. But this logo right here does not look well centered. So that is my concern, is that it will probably miss on the centering. I'm going to give this one a 9. It's very clean otherwise. Would I grade it? I'd give it a shot. I'd definitely grade this, because even a 9's good. But you might not prioritize it because maybe you would rather open up more packs and look for one that looks better. All right. So, and see, we're going to assign a little grade so that you can always come back and look at that. All right. Now let's snuggle these in between. A little snuggle wuggle, snuggy wuggy. Good. Thank you so much. And this shall return to this JA shelf. Let's go grab Mr. Brett Love's beautiful Eevee here. We're going to give it a T. There it is, T for tag. Good. All right, that's set. So, what next? We have an order over here. Let me hit refresh on it. So, Mr. Jared, you're asking for it to grade with tag. I can send it to them. It is, after all, a Topps card. However, I don't think they'll grade it. Tag, they have a pretty limited scope of what they'll grade. But since it's an official Topps card, we can definitely give it a try, because Topps is a pretty prominent company. But they might say, oh, we don't grade that yet. All right, that is Topps Halo. Just letting you know that. If it comes back, we will have to see if they charged me for it. I don't think they will. I don't know what they do when they decide they can't grade it. I think they just reject it. Okay. So this is a Jared line. T for tag. Should we try, or should I do PSA? PSA is about $10 more expensive, and PSA definitely grades these. So you can give it a shot, or you can send it to PSA, which will cost a little more and take a lot longer. PSA is slow as hell. They take like 3 months, man. If you send out a submission today to PSA, you can expect it like 3 months from now. Okay, so now we've got Mr. Jack Gray. He says, one Playboy. Okay, one boy who plays. Yes. These booster packs are not naughty. There's nothing inappropriate on them. We're looking for the Donald Trump cover card. Here it is. Check the pop report for tag. Let's just do tag. All right. Did I write down tag? Yes, I did. It's a Topps card, and I know they grade sports cards. I know they grade Topps Pokemon, so we can give it a try. We'll see what they do. All right, look at that. Playboy. More like play... Boy. Here's a cold one. I don't know where I was going with that. Wall Street. Women of Wall Street. Okay. In a little car. Here's a girl gone swimming in the old grand. These are all grandmas now. All of these ladies. They're all grandmothers. Grandmutters. They're all babushkas. There we go. Back then in the 1980s or whenever this was, 1968, I mean, in the 1970s and 1960s, their parents and grandparents might have been shaking their heads in disbelief that they were in Playboy magazine showing off their hooters. And so if they were, let's say, maybe about 24 years old in 1968, that would be, in today's time, that would be 32 plus 25, which is 67. No, 57. So 24 plus 57. Let's see what that is. 24. Oh, my God. I hate it when I have to put my 24, 57. 81 years old. The ladies in that magazine are 81 years old, and they do not probably care at all that once upon a time they showed off their hooters. Isn't that interesting? As human beings, we do not really think in really, really large, zoomed out scales about, reality in the world. We're very zoomed in. And the passage of time helps you see it and go, oh, here we are. Maybe none of this matters that much. Maybe I'm just a coconut in a coconut tree. There we go. Very nice. Ain't stoping me. You're not stoping? Here's Maurice. $50 to my slab away onto the full art lightning card. Okay, Mr. Maurice, let's take care of that. Let's see, that's going to go up here in the slab-aways. Now we're going to scroll over to the M's, to Mr. Maurice. Lightning Full Art, Commission Tammy, goes down to $200. Boom, $200. Hey, yo, I'm going to bed. TCC gang, have a nice night. The best part of that time and doing that was probably the fact, knowing that your child was in Playboy would say more about you than anything else, so it just went unspoken. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it did go unspoken. So here's Nicholas Lloyd, Groudon AR to tag grading. Nicholas Lloyd. All right, Nicholas. Let's see. Do. You've got a Groudon that you would like to... Oh, here we are. Found you. All right. I should contact... Wow. I should contact Tag and beg them to start doing Korean cards. I know why they're not doing them yet. The reason they're not doing them is because before they're willing to do another foreign language, they have to be able to generate labels that include the actual foreign language. Let me show you what that means. Let's see. To show you, I have to find a tag slab. Are these all tag? I don't think they're all tag. Where are my tag slabs? Ah, here's one. So check this out. So before they are willing to make a label, they got to learn the kanji. See that? It's in Japanese in the upper right-hand corner. So that's their system. They like to have it in Japanese. So that probably says Pikachu right there. And so in order for them to do the Korean, they have to be able to write the labels in Korean. So they've kind of made it harder on themselves because they could have just done it in strictly English. And then if they'd done it strictly in English, it would have been super easy. That's pretty much what PSA is doing and all the other companies. They're just strictly doing English. But they wanted to have the correct language on the label for the language of the card that was graded. And that's kind of holding back their capacity a little bit. I think they have to hire a language specialist to be able to write all the names in that other language and not make too many mistakes, That's pretty easy to do now with translation software. You'd think it would be, but, what if you have to translate something like Sabrina's Gengar or something like that, you know, and you just get it wrong for some reason, you know. It's like, what I'm trying to say is translation software isn't always necessarily designed with Pokemon in mind. And here's Metapod, and here's the free slab. I think we're going to put people on this free slab when they have really bad luck. Not all translation are the best, though. Just copy the text onto the card. Okay, Brett Love ordered a round of grading. We took care of that. Jared ordered a round of grading. We took care of that. Thank you, Jared. We're jumping back over here. We're going to hit refresh. All right. We have a big Sarah order. Sarah says 2 boxes of OP13 and 2 raw shuffles. All right, let's try those raw shuffles out. Ready? I use the Spanish one, and sometimes the person I'm texting with the translation software is not right. Okay, there we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, these 2 packs. What do we got in here? That's a round of hollows and Espeon and Gyarados. Those are two cold packs is what those are. Oof. Oh, that's right, we do this, don't we? Because I don't like them getting bent over. With Asian words, texts are a little different. There are situational patterns, which is really annoying. Yeah, I think that they probably could have gone very fast about it, and obviously they're not doing that. They're definitely taking it slow, which to me suggests they're trying to have a system where they can't make a mistake on it. Okay, so there's some cards there. Let's get those 2 boxes of OP13. As a Korean translator, it's not so simple. Here we are. All right, let's get it. Well, and you have to think they're really probably scared to damage their brand or appearance, because I think that's mostly what a grading company is about. It's just about the brand. And they want to be looked at as like super, 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 super professional. I think that is important for a grading company. So one trick they could have used is just don't translate it. Just have the English name only, even on foreign cards. But I was told that the owner of the company doesn't like that. He wants there to be, there we go. He wants there to be the foreign language itself in its own alphabet on the card. There it is, on the label. He thinks, I think I heard something roughly like this, that he thinks this will be very valuable in the foreign market, where people are pleased to see the card with the language of their actual card there. Oops. So if you're a Japanese guy, you don't want to buy PSA slabs. Maybe you want to buy a tag slab, though, because it has Japanese on it. It's an interesting thought. Maybe it's true. Maybe it'll work. All right, here goes. Box number 1. Miss Sarah. You ready, Sarah? Okay. Can you tell a quick story of tag and when they started? Don't know a lot about them, but hear good things. So apparently tag grading started a long time ago, but only recently gained notoriety. That's what I was told. Apparently tag grading had been around for a while and just didn't really have the sort of commercial, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of like volume. And so they weren't getting much attention. Oh, look at that. That looks cool. There we go. And the owner of the company is already a successful businessman, and he's just very passionate about grading. I can definitely relate to that. And he wanted to create a grading company that was more impartial when the card is graded. So he really went with, like, I guess maybe like a lot of technology with all the steps that they do during their grading. What I understand is, I guess he feels he invented some things, and he's patenting all of the stuff he invented. I think I said that right. And then also, I think they've been grading sports cards for a little while already, but they are just now grading Pokemon cards, and that got them way more attention. So now, you know, Pokemon cards have that superpower of making anything successful somehow. Ooh. All right. They do grade One Piece cards, by the way. So they will grade One Piece if you want to grade One Piece with them. It says on their website they grade Weiss as well. I don't know what that means. Does that mean they grade all Weiss cards? Really interesting. Okay. Can you tell a quick story about tag? Let's toss this over here. So tag grading, they use the whole AI grading, very similar to like what AGS does. They want to be in the AI grading. And then, ooh, look at that. Some other things I noticed, their slab is just prettier. It just is. The plastic's better. So they seem to use some better kind of plastic that makes it more clear. It's more brittle when you try to crack your card back out of it. It's really hard to get your card back out of a slab holder, which I actually do not like that. But I think that's just the way it's got to be for the slab to have the kind of plastic that it has. Yeah, this plastic is really see-through. It's like glass. Yeah, it's really see-through. You know, before this point, it was all about CGC. CGC had the nicer plastic. And now I'd say they have a real competition with tag grading. Tag grading has, oh, nice. There was a little fingerprint on this, and I basically just dusted the fingerprint off. I didn't know you could do that. What? With the makeup brush? I didn't know makeup brushes had that ability. How does that even work? I don't understand that. But yeah, so, you know, they just have this really polished plastic, but it's so brittle when you try to crack your card back out. So there's some trade-offs. But probably the biggest thing that stands out about tag grading is when you scan this little code right here, it explains in fine detail why your card graded the way it graded. That's the big deal. So the tag slab looks good. But what really stands out is the grading report that tells you why your card graded the way it graded. And they use good pictures that show you exactly what went wrong. And so this really, to me, it suggests they're using tool-assisted grading. You know, I don't call it AI, I call it tool-assisted. That's why I call it. It tells me they've got a great setup for tool-assisted grading where they have lots of forensic imaging going on. And then they have it all designed to go to a computer website to show all the data on that card, and all that can be pretty hard to manage, all that stuff. So it's really kind of technology driven. That's what's interesting about it. Like AGS, they wanted to do the AI grading too, right? So what AGS they had really aggressive marketing. AGS had really aggressive marketing. I don't feel like Tag was so aggressive in their marketing. But what they have though is the grading report, and that is so valuable. And I think a lot of companies might actually end up copying that. I think companies like PSA, CGC, BGS, if they get their stuff straight, if they get their crap straight, they're going to want to do the same thing. They're going to want to have a website where after your card is done grading, it's got, you know, a full grade report explaining why it failed the 10. And in order to have that done, they're probably going to have to change up their system of grading a little bit. It might cost a little bit of money. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure how it will look for them, but yeah, it's really interesting. It's a really interesting subject. I'm very fascinated by it. I'm very passionate about the science or the work of, or the philosophy, I suppose you could say, of card grading. So all of it's very fascinating. Anyways, of the new companies, I've really liked Tag. And so I was a bit surprised actually that they accepted me when I applied to do a tag grading dealership with them. And I mentioned when I applied that I had posted a video to, you know, talking about tag grading, and I don't know what it's up to now. What's the, any gym breaks running? Yeah, we got one gym break right now. One gym break. Hold on, let me see. I got a tag grading video that's doing pretty well. Okay, here it is. Is tag grading worth it? And check that one out. That one's got 440,000 views. And I feel like that probably affected their grading demand for tag. I think we actually generated some of the demand for their company by posting just that video, you know. So I mentioned that when I applied, and maybe they saw that and they thought it was a positive thing. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. I don't super glue tag slabs anymore. Mister's the secret owner of Tag. No, trust me, I'm not. Ooh, all right. So you got a bonus pull in this box. You're going to get a leader card. Is that Goldie Roger? I think it is him. Yeah, that's him. Goldie Roger. I think that they explained the grade is awesome. It doesn't cost an examiner of a card for any grading service to type the reason in for the grade. I think that makes even lesser grades better. we are. Sure, or maybe it makes people feel more confident when a card grades 10, knowing that they have such a strict policy, so that you know that their 10s are all good, you know. But we'll see. I mean, I think that one thing I've learned about grading companies over time, they all make mistakes. All the grading companies make some fatal flaw, some goofy decisions, some scandal occurs. Ultimately, grading companies are just ran by people. And AI software, those are just tools, but they're ran by people. So eventually there'll be some tax scandal. I don't know when, hopefully not too many of them, but there'll probably be some scandal someday. And we'll probably get a PSA scandal. We'll probably get a CGC scandal. We'll probably get a BGS scandal. Remember the BGS CEO he's going to jail or something like that for defrauding insurance companies or some crazy crap like that. And I told people, I said, oh, look at that. That looks nice, huh? All right, lovely. I need to get ripped like that, man. Looking good. Let's see. But I was saying, you know, give it about a half year and people will completely forget about the scandal because it's just the CEO. It's not the workers. The workers didn't do it. So why punish the workers and the whole company because of one selfish CEO? Just get a new CEO. You know, but anyways, so that was a scandal for BGS, and that was like this year. And then CGC had their disastrous playtest scandal, so that didn't go too well for them. They were too ambitious. CGC was too ambitious. They wanted to grade the playtest cards. They're going super fast, and then what do you know? The community has the skill to detect that the playtest cards are inauthentic. At least some of them were, right? Like, I believe what it was, the first batch of the playtest cards were real, but then the later batches were fake, right? Isn't that what's going on? And so that was a huge debacle for CGC and really hurt their brand, in my opinion. But it's a temporary thing, in my opinion. The real problem with CGC is not the playtest cards. And I wish CGC could listen to me and take some advice on this. The real problem with CGC is actually the Gem 10s are no good. They need to improve the Gem 10s. The Gem 10s are trading just above the price of a PSA 9. Not at the same price as a PSA 9, obviously, but just above it. And that is not a good look. I think that, here's what I think would elevate the CGC company. So, okay, CEO of CGC, here you go. You ready? So they need to change the Gem 10 label to be the same as the pristine label. They both need to be golden. They both need to look good. They both need to be golden. That has to happen. The ugly black and white label for Gem 10 is very disappointing. Better yet, turn every single label into a golden label. Why have the ugly black and white label and then only one card pristine gets the golden label? Make them all beautiful. So like imagine you've got like a CGC 7 and it's got that nice embossed label and it's just a nice embossed CGC 7. Looks good. What's the problem? You're like PSA, they don't change their label just because it's a 6 over here. It's the same label. 10, 6, but they're both the same. So I think, the black and white label I don't think is working for me. The pristine label looks good, but the black and white not so good. It's just ugly. So Gem 10s look so much uglier than pristine. You immediately feel like what CGC is telling you is this Gem 10 is a piece of garbage. It feels like that's what they're telling you. Basically, pristines are good, and then anything less than pristine is garbage. That's how it feels. So the two-tiered label colors, bad. Second thing I would change, I would significantly change the Gem 10s. I would bring back a higher quality to them. The first thing is we would go out with the public announcement saying, when we crossed over the 9.5s to 10s, some of the 9.5s should have been downgraded into 9s. If you come to us with the card that you think should have been downgraded into a 9, we will examine it, and if we determine that it should be a 9, we're going to essentially buy the card from you and downgrade it. So that's what CGC should do. They should buy up all of their crappy Gem 10s. The ones, not all of them are crappy. Some of them are really good, but they should go in and buy all the worst offenders and ask card owners to turn them in. Just ask us to turn them in. Say, we'll buy it from you at market price. And they're going to lose millions of dollars doing that. But they should do that. They should buy the Gem 10s back at market price, adjust them, and then say, you know what? We got rid of a bunch of bad Gem 10s. The remaining ones are much better. And from now on, we have a higher standard for Gem 10s. They're very hard to get, and pristines are above that. So that's what they should do. Fix the Gem 10. Pristines can still be pristines. But, you know, the way it is right now, pristines are operating like they're a lower grade, and Gem 10s are below pristine. It's pretty bad. So like a CGC 10 is actually PSA 9. And a pristine 10 is just a PSA Gem 10. You know, it's not a good look. But maybe they won't do that. Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe it's already set up that way. So if they just continue the way they're going, at the very least, change the label to look better. Because the black and white label is not a good look. I don't think it is. The black and white label, it just looks kind of goofy. It's like a worse looking PSA label. PSA has always been bland. The black and white label is not good. So no more two-tiered label. The last thing I would do, bring back perfect grades, because that's what's keeping BGS alive. You hear in the news all the time, BGS black label record price. BGS black label record price. How could CGC give up their perfect grades when they were the only company competing with BGS for perfect grades? So I think that was a horrible mistake. And really, I think all companies should have a perfect label. Every company, including PSA, even though PSA won't do it. But they should be able to determine when my card is completely flawless, every angle of the card is perfect. They should, if they're a grading company, they should know that, because some cards kind of fall into that range. They just don't do it. And I think that's a lot of money is wasted that way. Like, how many cards have I graded with PSA that would have been black label BGS had it only gone to BGS? Probably not a lot, but you have to assume some of it. So some of those cards are not selling for their real market value. Some of those cards are perfect 10s, and unfortunately, PSA just doesn't do that. So they lose out on what would have been a perfect 10 price. And so CGC was really competing with BGS over those perfect grades, and they gave that up when they did their upgrade. So right now, I'd say CGC has made some missteps with the playtest cards, with the two-tier label system, which does not look that attractive. They still have upsides. They're one of the cheaper companies, so they offer cheap grading. That's nice. And the pristine 10 still pretty good. And their quality of the slab is still better than PSA's quality, although PSA might catch up on that pretty soon. They might, you know, PSA might notice tag grading, and they might notice CGC grading. Both have better slabs, and they might go, you know what, we better get better slabs. So PSA is capable of catching up in those departments. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Is BGS honest? They had any scandals? Like I was saying, the CEO got in trouble. He's going to like jail for white-collar crime of insurance fraud on the cards. I imagine there were all class actions against these graders. I just got insurance for my Pokemon and sports collection. I didn't know we could insure our collections. You can insure anything. A perfect PSA label to complete with black label would be insane. Yeah, and PSA should hand it out super rarely. Hathim says 5 gunslingers. Final Fantasy. You got it, man. 5 gunslingers. All right. Oh, so there was only 1 pack left in the box I couldn't find. There we go. Yeah, I think the perfect label is a very important thing. It's not something that should just be some sort of BGS exclusive. The idea of it is important. The idea that some cards can be printed by some luck to be virtually flawless warrants a higher grade than just Gem 10. We are, because Gem 10s always allow some flaws. That's how PSA does it. They allow some flaws. And a perfect grade says, no, this card's virtually flawless. Not even one hair is wrong on this card. Nothing. And I like that a lot. And if PSA had sort of like the setup for it, they could be testing for perfect. And they're not testing for perfect. And I don't know, they're probably rolling in money, but it leaves open a opportunity for a company like BGS to come in and say, well, your PSA isn't going to do it, we're going to do it. And that's exactly what's going on. So BGS comes in and they get to do it. Okay, 200, mister, and I'm done for the night. You choose. What? 200? I choose. Here's Snow. Well, if I would choose, I'd probably go after that Black Bolt, because we need to pull Victini. We haven't pulled Victini. We are. Here's Ico. Plus, there's a good thing going on right now where if you pull an SIR in English, you get a bonus slab. So there is a bounty going on. So definitely now is the time to try out for those English SARs. Here's Mini Fighter. All right. What's your favorite packs to open? My favorite packs right now, Destined Rivals. Definitely Destined Rivals. All right, I like it. It's a rocket set. Probably going to like it for a long time. Going to hold on to that Dust Rivals for a long time. Hathim, picking up Snow. Sorry, Hathim, no full arts. Maybe in the next round. What's up, mister? Just doing my monthly check. If you manage to send Gold Poker Part 2 in for grading. No. What I most recently sent, and I didn't want to say it because it's such a good set, I most recently sent in a poker set that is Mega Pokemon. Yep, Mega Pokemon Poker. I think I sent in 2 decks of that. So we're going to, when the next returns come in, and they'll be in, you know, probably like in 2 months, we're going to have some Mega Pokemon on our hands, but Poker Mega Pokemon. And so I'm really excited for that. Just in time for the release of ZA Legends. And really rare, really expensive decks. Like, really rare. Okay, let's go ahead and get a couple more of these. Do you think Dust Rivals has more potential than even Prismatic or 151? Maybe not, because the prices are already so high. But we don't know what'll go up the most over time. But I don't know. The Mewtwo's good. But I think that right now, what stands out to me is the Prismatic Umbreon. He's really good. Prismatic Umbreon's really good. Also, a set no one was anticipating, Paldean Fates with the Bubble Mew is performing really well right now. So Bubble Mew could be a big winner. Prismatic just stands out the most, I think. Okay, so we've got Hello Kitty, Sanrio characters, $190 Tammy. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's take a quick look at that. We got a hurry here. PSA 10, Sanrio characters. I don't see that exact card for sale. Let me check sold. Okay, I'm not seeing this exact card for sale. I guess what that means is we can hold on to this price. I don't know if they'll sell at that price. Here we are. It's not an... So my thoughts on that one, Tammy, is it's not an SP. It's not a signature, right? It's not a stamped. But it's a BR. It's a nice BR, though. It's one of the more popular BRs. PSA 10, Poker... Oh, it's a PSA 9. Poker Venusaur. All right, let's check the Poker Venusaur is at 72 currently. Yeah, that seems to be fine. The Poker Venusaur price is good, actually. It looks like it's a good price. Do we have a last sold? Hold on, let me check last sold. Ooh, the last sold's pretty low. So you might have trouble selling that for 72. Because there's some of the market that are kind of pricey, but that doesn't mean that they're going to sell at that price. And the last sold's much lower. EX Deoxys, $90 Aovic. Wow, how is that one not sold? Actually, that one's not for sale. Aovic's having me return his slabs to him. Okay, this one's going back to Mr. Aovic. You guys should have bought this one. This one's good. Look at that. Only $90 for a nice 9. And to put that into perspective, the 10 sells for a lot for that card in particular. Okay, should have hold back Black Bolt and White Flare. Those are pretty nice too. They contain the Victini and the Zekrom and the Reshiram. And so, you know, I just bought some Black Bolt in order to have some in inventory. Let's see. Just in case. Okay, Umbreon Master Ball Japanese. That is the correct price. I would be concerned about this one rising in price over time. The Amada for a 10, I mean, it's nice, but it is just a sticker card, and it is the CGC Gem 10. Here's an Anthony Kalura. This is Master Ball Jolteon for $29. I think this is ready for the picture. We'll leave it up for now. Let's go ahead and service Steven Gonzalez, 1 Pokey Shuffle, 1 Azure Lane, Volume 2. Steven Gonzalez. All right. Let me try and find that Azure Lane. Azure Lane. No, this is Sneaker Bunko. Whew. Too many girly sets, man. They're hard to memorize. That's Fantasia Bunko. I don't think I needed a new box of it, did I? Didn't feel like I needed a new box. So sadly, I'm just going to run off and get a new box of the Azure Lane for this one order for 1 pack. All right. Give me a second. All right. Ouch. Ow. Stabbed my foot. That's Azure Lane. Do you think Deaths and Rivals has more potential? I already read that one. Okay. The lead actor in Blue Mountain State has a movie out called Fired Up, and I thought it was funny, but I rewatched it yesterday and I wondered if I was too old. There we go. So there we got that. One Pokey Shuffle. Ah, yes, the Pokey Shuffles. Very popular. All right. Very good. Oh, we haven't sold too many Pokey Shuffles lately. Ooh, Magneton. One Magneton. What's in the Pokey Shuffles? You guys want to see what's in the Pokey Shuffles real quick? So here's what's in the Pokey Shuffles. Replaces Cubone, this $120 Jolteon poker card. We got a Cleaver 10. We got a Pokeball Sylveon 10. We got Dratini No Rarity symbol. Charmander 10. That's nice. That's real nice. We got Raichu Leaf Green Poker. Not one, but two Bulbasaurs? Really? Wow. Okay, we also have Articuno. Another Charmander. Rocket Returns Onyx. Master Ball Duskull. Rainbow Dragonair, but he's a 7. There's a Storm of Brewing, but it's a 9. Vintage Dark Porygon from Neo Destiny. This Giovanni, but he's a 9. Square Cut Dodrio. Meganium Poker. Zapdos. This is all in the Pokey Shuffles, by the way. Gardevoir. Here's our Palafin. Vending Pidgeotto. Mega Venusaur 6. Oh, this is nice. Legendary Collection Beedrill. Cool. So that's what's in it, and we could add more. I'll try to find something. If I add more soon, we'll try to find something overwhelmingly cool. I guess this is probably the $100 card, huh? Look at that, 120. So this is the Chase card right here, by the way. I didn't write it on it, but it should say this right here at the top. So that says 120 on it, and Pokey Shuffle, the top pull is $100. All right. I need to be doing the Pokey Shuffles more than the live customs. The Pokey Shuffles are interesting because they're randomly drawn, right? So there's no way to be sniped. You know, you get a fair shot every time. The live customs are very tricky because they're super snipeable. So when you open a pack out of the live customs, there's a chance someone else already knows what's going on in that box. And they might decide that you just made it hot, and then they're going to run in past you and jump into it. You are. That's one cold pack. Steven Gonzalez. Thank you, Mr. Steven. How did you guys like that? Do you like the preview of the Pokey Shuffles, or do you think that's a bad idea to show them off? Is it more fun when you don't know? Steven Gonzalez. Okay. I need to be doing the Pokey Shuffles. Mr. I heard Paldean Fates is getting a reprint. It only came out last year. It's only a 1-year-old set. That's good because the Mew is super popular right now. Okay, Mr. Brett, $200. Pick what you want to open. Brett Love. Yes. So I know exactly what I want to open. I'll open up an ETB of the Black Bolt. Let me go grab that ETB. All right, so this is going to give you a shot at pulling the, this is going to give you a shot at pulling the Victini. No one's pulled it yet. So you'll have a special clip where it's you pulling it for the first time. Plus, if you pull an SIR, there is a bonus slab. There's a bounty going on right now. Here's the bounty card. It's actually really good. Have you guys really looked at this? This is Skyridge Dunsparce PSA 10. I mean, and it's Pop 18. That is a good bounty. I don't understand why Bubble Mew goes for $700 when it only came out last year. It's a good card. Looks great. That's why. All right. That's good. Let you know it's attainable. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. What I try to do, so there's always like this temptation to put junk in the live customs and the Pokey Shuffle. So when I put stuff in there, I have a pretty strict rule. I do a ratio where the majority of the things that go into those boxes, I consider like good stuff. Because I never want them to be looked at like, oh, the junk goes in there. No, we pick out the good stuff. Like you saw those Bulbasaurs, right? Those are really good. It's a $5. The Poke Shuffle's just $5. It's not like expensive or anything. And so it's never really going to have super expensive cards in it. And so if you're going to put cheap ones in there, might as well put the best cheap ones. All right, so here we are. Ready? Bubble Mew doesn't look $700 good. Well, it's you know, it's up to the market to decide that. It's not up to us. Here we are. I don't think the Poncho Pikachus look good. Look at them. I think Poncho Pikachus look dumb. All right. Poke Shuffle's my favorite. Yeah, we got to put some more stuff in there, too. We got to put more cool stuff in there. Tossing that. Actually, there's supposed to be a card in there for store credit. Ooh, right off the bat. Master Ball Conkeldurr. That's not bad, actually. Conkeldurr is kind of like the Machamp of this black and white era. And so it's better to pull him than it is to pull the middle evolution. Conkeldurr, he's the final evolution. Here's Pansage. Okay, so we're starting out with one Master Ball. Here's Girder. Yeah, like if you got Master Ball Girder, I'd be like, good luck trying to sell him. Because he's not going to sell. Drillbur. Lots of hollows in here. We've got Bisharp Maractus. Okay, here's Simipour. Okay, Superior. That's nice. Okay. Oh, hold on, my iPad's about to die. Master Ball Gall. I got the Japanese Bubble Mew for PC cheap since it was super OC. There we go. The market and whale group buyers are two different things, mister. You know, people are always assuming that if a Pokemon card gets really expensive, that it must be a manipulation. And I would say let go of that superstition because it's not helping you. I bought like 6 of those Bubble Mews, Japanese, and blew through all 6 in a heartbeat because it was one of the fastest moving breaks ever. That to me just tells me there's heavy demand for it. There is. Then we did a break for a Bubble Mew English for like over $1,000. Same deal. Poof, it was gone. And so, no, it's the case that people really like it. One Timpole came out. Ah, man. No SIR, no Victini. Okay. So now I think we have like $65 left or something. Either that or $55. Let me take a quick look. Okay, 135 minus 200, which is 65. You have $65 left over. $65. What could that be? You could keep digging in the black bolt. I mean, that's probably what I would do. I just don't know if you want to do that yourself. I don't want to disappoint you. So if I were you, I'd just keep digging in this direction. I'm feeling the white flare. Brett. Bubble Mew is generally popular even among the normal collectors and even girls who don't like Pokemon. It's doing numbers, man. It's just, people are buying it. They're buying it like crazy. Go ahead. All right, $65 more of Black Bolt. Oh, that's so much better taking that Thundurus out of that stupid holder with all the fat things behind it. God, it's so annoying. So, 15 goes into 65 how many times? 4.3 times. So let's get your 4 more packs. And you got a little left over after that. Oops. Let's grab this. My spidey sense is tingling. So how many we got over here? 1, 2. So we got 2 here. Is that it? Okay, we gotta open another box. Give me a minute. Here they are. We are almost sold out of these. The Black Bolts have been a top performing product. To my surprise, I did not expect that. I think it's because the Zekrom, Reshiram, Victini truly look stunning. And so I think people see them and they go, oh my God, I want one of those. And even I was looking at it on eBay. I was looking at the price of the Zekrom 10 because after pulling one a little while ago with you guys, which I would love to pull a second one, but after pulling one with you guys earlier, I was like, holy, that's a good looking card. And we've never even seen the Victini, but I guarantee you it's the same deal. It probably looks gorgeous. All right, he's gonna N. He's going in. Yes. Okay, Mr. Brett. Big roller, I love it. He takes big risks. There you go. So, it's only 4 packs. I don't know where it'll land. You never know. Something could happen. Let's find out. Is it common people slapping cards away and just abandoning them? It always there's always a couple of them. So always a couple cards get abandoned, but not too many of them. The vast majority of them are finished. And then there's a couple that get canceled intentionally, and then there's a couple that get ignored. Speaking of which, we're in September, and so there are some slabaways that are now expired on some vintage cards, and those guys should have paid those off. Here's Beartick. They just must not have money. I don't know. Ooh, Bisharp, Cobalion, and... Ah, man. That sucked. That was a straight cold round. Black Bolt and White Flare, guys. It's a tough set, by the way. All right. You had a 0.3 left, right? Just for the fun of it, let's get you one more pack for that 0.3. Remember that? So you have a little money left over. Let's get one whole pack out. I'll pitch in. Let's get this open. Let's try this last pack. Are you ready? So this is the very last part of the fund. You ready? So... Oh, man, Brett, you owe me a drink, Brett. Look at that. I gave you the free pack. Not the free pack, but you only paid for some of the pack. Wow, there you go. Much better. Much better. That's the Seismitoad everybody wants. So what was going on is Brett didn't have enough money left over to buy a whole nother pack. In fact, what he had left over was... let's see. So he only had $5 left over. And so I covered the other $10 and said, let's just get this guy one more pack to see what's in it. Because I didn't like that the other 4 packs were so cold. Look at that. It goes to show you sometimes the difference between a really good round and a really bad round is 1 pack. That's how crazy it gets, guys. 1 pack. 1 pack difference. All right. So you got to understand, Brett, this one card could sell for like $1,000 if it grades well. And it looks good. It looks good on the back. That could be a 10, Mr. Brett. Yeah, it is pretty good, man. Here we are. 10K, 20K, 30K. I like to see it when you can spend some money and actually get your money's worth out. So I like to see that a lot because I know that's very important, because if people just lose money opening cards, they don't want to keep opening. Neither would I. Look at that. Send it to tag. Ooh, yes. We're going to send that right off to tag. Okay. T for tag. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. The luck is real. Cash coming. Oh, yeah. Now, the rest of this goes into your regular bag. Go find your regular bag. You know, I think I am remembering you don't normally keep your hollows. Is that right? I think you normally get rid of them. You are. Toss this here. Mister, giving out rent money. Yeah. Raise the rents on single mothers. There we go. Whew. And why don't we click that one? I think that is, you know, I have to say, Mike's side, he is always hungry for more content. He never gets enough. We always need to help Mike's side get more content. But I thought about making it possible for you guys to mail in crazy moments in the Pokemon card hobby for yourselves. And we compile that into a sort of like, you know, compilations of crazy moments from other people kind of video. I used to play around with that for Monster Hunter, if you didn't know that. What we used to do is we used to compile like groups of the best speed runs, which was really fun. All right, so we're going to say Brett Love pulls Seismitoad off of Lucky Pack. Actually, if we could go back one stream, we could also find another one where CS Man gets a free pack, and that free pack turned into an alt art as well. I don't know. Is that clip worthy? We are. Let me just grab that live. Get shareable link. Let's go back over here. In addition, in this previous stream, after CS Man struck out with a whole box of Destined Rivals, someone buys him a free booster pack of Destined Rivals, and it turns into an SIR. All right, so that might pair with the other video. Maybe there'll be something to make there. You never know. All right, so cool. Now, next up, we have Alvaro Molina, who says, 2 Korean white flare, I have a small bag. That should be a short, mister. Complimentary pack pays off. Yeah. Well, and it was very similar to the other. So it's like, so in other words, oops. So in other words, some generosity pays off for both these guys. Okay, there it is. Yeah, complimentary pack. So now we will jump over here for Alvaro Molina, 2 Korean white flares. Yeah, so the exact same thing happened yesterday, where who was it that bought that free pack? Here, it's on this list for August. It was right here. Isaac Thomas bought a Destined Rivals for CS Men, and that turned into a alternative art, turned into a hit. It was like Mabo Stiff or something. Is CS Man here? No, so I still don't think he knows about it. What is a bounty card? A bounty card, you've never heard of that. So other streams will do this sometimes, where a bounty card is where, like, you have to meet some kind of condition, and if you meet it, you're going to get that card for free. So the bounty for this one is you have to pull an SIR in English. That's an alternative art. Okay, 2 white flares, Alvaro Molina. Just having a little $5 fun here. They're really cheap in Korean. You can open 2 packs for $5. Here's Jellicent. Ooh. All right, yeah, tonight's been a good night. Some nice stuff happening. Alvaro with an AL. Let's see. Alvaro Molina. Oh, got your bag? Lots of space in this box. The AL box has plenty of room right now. There was a scam on Bounty recently on TikTok. Yeah, so there's a lot of rip and ships that I guess do actual, like, cheating. Cheating is like where maybe I've created maybe like a break or something, but it's not possible to win the break. Something like that, some trick like that. There was a huge scandal. What was it, like 2 or 3 years ago? Blake Lively. Do you guys remember that scandal? Blake Lively, a former football player, like professional NFL football player, became a rip and shipper. And then he and his little team of rip and shippers ran a scam on people where they made it look like you could win a bounty based on pulling the color of an energy card. However, they knew the predetermined order of the energy cards and avoided letting you win. So it was a big scam. It was a big scandal. And so you see that happen a lot with, like, these bounties. So I don't do a lot of bounties, but this bounty here is not mine. This is Martin's. Martin bought this card for you guys. It's a beautiful card. It's worth like $80. It could be worth more over time. And so Martin got this card for you guys. So that's his bounty for you. If you pull an SIR English, you get the card. Excuse me. But I generally don't do bounties. I have a philosophy about them. If you can afford to do a bounty, you can afford to just lower the price of the packs. There you go. Or maybe you just do a cheap bounty. That's not really a big deal, right? Like some of these poker cards, I could probably turn them into bounties because I acquired them at a pretty low price a long time ago. Like I could do a bounty with this card right here, this Luigi. Easy. But I generally don't do bounties. And what you should really do is, instead of a bounty, just lower the price of your packs. So the problem is these bounties would be like $200 or $300 or $400 bounties that these other rip and shippers will use to kind of hook you into buying their booster packs. But the problem for them is occasionally you're going to pull that bounty sooner than they wanted you to. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get lucky, and all of a sudden they've got to pay out a really expensive bounty, and they don't want to pay it out. Hey, here's Martin right now. Martin Ramirez, 1 Raw Shuffle. Need a new bag. When you open the last giveaway box, please put it in my bag. This is cool. Oh, you're clued. I didn't know that. Okay, so this is yours. All right. That's yours. He's here. Martin Ramirez is Clue Ould. All right. Which is, it's really just, that's, you're not supposed to actually phonetically pronounce the name, right? But I just like to do that for fun. Here it is. I didn't know that was you. Let's get this open. All right. Blake Lively, actress. Was it Blake Lively? Who was it? It was Blake's Rips or something like that. I don't remember the name. He was a football player, and he was a football player turned into rip and shipper for whatnot, and it was a huge scam. People lost a lot of money. He had like a team of other rip and shippers working for him. They were part of like a network of people who ripped and shipped in his place. Something that I've thought about doing, but I've never really gotten it off the ground. But it was like a team of rip and shippers that he would send product to, and he would teach them how to run the game. It's like a, you know, just like a, if you pull the right energy card, you get the giveaway. You get the big bounty. Not a giveaway, it was a bounty. You had to buy the packs to be able to get it. And no, it was pretty bad. I don't like stuff like that. And I think, did he quit? What actually happened to him? What actually happened? What was the follow-up to that story? This dude was scamming for 30K bounty law for pulling prismatic Umbreon. Blake Martinez, he was a linebacker. I'm sorry, not Blake Lively, Blake Martinez. I got the names wrong. Not Blake Lively, Blake Martinez, a linebacker for who? For NYG. My bad. I'm very bad with names sometimes. I meant Blake Martinez. And I don't know how I mixed that up. But anyways, so this box is Mr. Martin Ramirez's free box that he won. Here we are. Very nice. A lot of generous people donating stuff on this channel. He was banned. Okay, so he was banned from whatnot. Should I trade my 15 copies of PSA 10 Felt Hat Pikachu for a used Mercedes-Benz two-door coupe? No. All right. Ooh. 15 copies, and what do they sell for? 900 each. So that would be 9,000 plus probably about another 4,000 plus fees or something. You probably have like 1.2 thousand. You could. I mean, it's up to you, really, but you know, I don't think Pokemon cards are done going up, but you just never know, man. It's up to you. Is that what you really want in life, is a nice car? If you want a nice car, if that's what your heart truly desires, then go turn those Pokemon cards into a car, man. If that's what your heart truly desires. I truly desire Pokemon. I just love having all the Pokemon. And that's what pushes this hobby forward so much. Zapdos. You didn't read the rest of the message. Oh. Or should I save it for after I find a wife and buy an SUV instead? Oh, I see. So you do not have a girlfriend yet. Gosh. The best timing to buy an overpriced car, I would say never buy the car. I mean, if you've got that cash, put that cash into a retirement account. Never buy the car. Just skip the car entirely. You should buy that car when you're a 50-year-old man. Yeah, that's what 50-year-old men do. They buy old cars. They buy fancy, expensive sport cars. If you're a young man and you don't have a proper retirement account, wow, a consequential box for Mr. Martin Ramirez. Altart Moltres popping out. So beautiful, man. All right. So beautiful. Now, if I were you, I would either hold on to the Pikachus because you think they're going to be a superior investment compared to stocks, or I would liquidate them and turn them into stocks and then just save those stocks as part of your retirement portfolio. It's not even a lot of money, ultimately. You know, $13,000 in the stock market is just a beginning. You have to make it to like $250,000 soon enough in order to get any sort of, what would you call it? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a breakthrough sort of money velocity. You need a money velocity where you reach a point where it snowballs. And so would I waste it on an end consumer product like a used car? No, because the car will just eat up the rest of your money. You'll need to repair it. You'll need to license it. You'll need to, if you're borrowing to pay for part of the car, you'll need to finance it. You'll need to get insurance on the car. Now you're paying insurance. Like, it just takes money out of your pocket. Then if you crash it, you're screwed. You know, you're going to be really disappointed on your dream car. You got to get it back now. But the insurance is going to be higher on a car. If it's a really good car and you truly want it fully insured, every single month, you're just going to, it's going to be a product that you own that takes money out of your pocket. The Pikachus put money into your pocket as they go up in value. The car takes money out of your pocket as you pay for fuel, as the car degrades, because it's like a toilet paper. All vehicles are like toilet paper. You use them up, and then you can't use them again. They wear out. So as it degrades, as you wipe your butt with it, as you buy insurance for it, as you license it, as you pay property taxes on it, it just degrades and takes money out of your pocket. Worst decision you can make. But if it's the only thing you really care about in life, maybe you do it anyways. I don't know. So we need to get one raw shuffle for our good friend, Mr. Martin Ramirez. So that's why you're being so generous with the Dunsparce earlier, because you got really lucky. You're saying $250,000 is the exact marker needed to reach a livable passive? No, not that. Oh, I know the term I'm wanting to use. It was a term I would tell Karis when we were preparing for our retirement. I told her it's important that you save up enough to achieve something that I call escape velocity. So I call it escape velocity. Think of it like gravity. Like gravity holds down your rocket ship, and you want your rocket ship to break out of gravity and get into space. Well, your investment's like that too. You put a little bit of money in the stock market, but it's only like $12,000. It's like a meaningless amount. You need to bust through with like $1 million, and then all of a sudden you have a meaningful amount of money. So I call that escape velocity. It's where you have so much money that your money makes money, and it's a meaningful amount. It's hard to reach that point. And the trick is when you're younger, the younger you are, the more time you have to make that scenario happen. As you age, you run out of time to do it, so you never reach the escape velocity. You're just stuck at this like lower amount of money that can't keep up with your body as your body wears down, and now you need all these doctor appointments. Okay, Martin Ramirez, one raw shuffle. I didn't get it for you yet. I'm sorry about that. I'm still talking. Too much talking. There we go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Livable passive income, escape velocity. So what I mean is have enough money that it starts to build up on its own. So if you get to like $250,000 and you stop touching it, it would just turn into $1 million by the time you're 50 or something like that. You know, even if you contribute a little bit to it. Ooh, this is kind of cool. What is this? Oh, got the Rita. Ha-ha! Oh, that's a good pack right there. Okay, so there you go. Very nice. All right. So that was a hot pack. What was in there again? My poop escapes the matrix. Mewtwo got the Rita. Iron Boulder, Pinsir, two Iron Boulders. What the hell? And a Glaceon too. That's nice. All right, that's yours. Well, you're just getting lucky, lucky, lucky. What is up with that? This guy just gets really lucky. All right, I sent you my Rocket Return Sandslash, and it looks like the guy only paid $20 in 2 months. Not looking too good. Ha ha. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, he has 6 months to pay it down. And so you see that happen a lot. Hathim, 5 more gunslingers. That's Hathim. Here you go, 5 more gunslingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5. But yeah, that could be an abandoned slab. We'll see. There it is. I'm not even greedy about it. I just want enough money to buy a house in California and break my family curse of poverty and renting apartments. Renting is not always a bad thing. It's not. It depends on the calculation. Sometimes renting is more money cost effective than owning an actual home. And that sounds silly, but it can really be true that way. Here's some examples. So imagine interest rates are really high, and you buy this brand new home, and you think you're making money on the home. You think that your house, oh, I'm paying equity into the house. But nobody taught you this yet. When you borrow a loan on a home, a mortgage, you have to pay all the interest first before, like years later, like 10 years later into the loan, then you start building equity. A lot of people don't teach you that. So, and there's a word for it. It's like amortization or something like that. Amortization. So that's the way a house loan is structured. So in other words, I've been making payments on my house, and almost all of it is just interest that goes straight to the bank. So they make the interest, and you don't build equity. So you rely on the house going up in price, but the interest rate on the loan was 7%. So that means if you're paying 7% on the cost on the the loan of the home, let's say 500,000, 7%, but the house is only going up at 4% or even 3%, well then you're just losing money. You own a home and it's going up, but you're just losing money on it because it's not going up as fast as the cost of the interest. The interest is 7%, but the house is only improving in price by 4%. Okay, so now you're in this hole. You've got this bad loan on an asset that, sure, it's going up, but the interest is bigger than the appreciation. So that is an example of buying a home not strictly being good. Alternatively, you could have just rented, and the issue of financing the home isn't up to you. It's up to the landlord. And he runs into a problem where everything's breaking in the home. If that was your home, you'd be replacing everything that's breaking. New roof, a tree falls down and breaks something, or a tree has to be removed. You know, tree removal is like $1,000. A dead tree has to be removed. We're doing that. We're spending $3,000 on tree removal in like a week from now. And guess who's paying for it? Me. And so they don't explain that. When you buy the home, you buy all the home's problem. We just spent like $800 on the plumbing, and we're paying $3,000 for tree removal. We paid $500 for bush removal because the bushes are getting so large that they're worried that it will break the foundation of the home. So we just chopped the bushes that were around the home down, and you just have to pay for everything. So that becomes the landlord's problem, and the interest rate becomes the landlord's problem as well. So it's only in certain scenarios that owning a home is good and profitable, but especially over a very long period of time, it tends to become profitable. So if you can buy a home and stay exactly where you're at for over 10 years, now it's good. Because you need to pay through that amortization, the early interest, in the first 10 years. After 10 years, now you're really just starting to pay the equity on the home. Now it's starting to be a good deal. So think of it like this. When you get a loan on a home, when you get a loan from the bank, you're really just renting it from the bank. That's it. That's why the bank's interested in giving you all that money, because you're really just renting it from them. 10 years later, they say, all right, you've rented from us for 10 years. Now you can start owning the home. Now when you pay on it, it's yours. Miss Tammy, 10 Journey Togethers. Ooh, she's taking a shot at that Dunsparce. Here goes, 10 Journey Togethers. 7%, ouch, 7%, fire your loan officer. 7's normal right now. Yeah, 7% is what they're doing these days. 1, 2, it might have gone down slightly. I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait. Just 10. I think for me, owning a home is more about being able to raise my child in a decent neighborhood instead of actually owning a property. Okay. Well, I mean, that could also just mean getting a nice apartment in a nicer neighborhood. That too, okay? So you can rent, there are really fancy places to rent. But yeah, owning a home is a good thing overall, especially if you're going to stay there a really long time. If you're going to stay there a really long time, definitely purchase the home. And when the interest rates fall, keep your credit score very clean the whole time. Don't make any financial mistakes. When the interest rates fall, if they fall, but they probably will, you go to the bank and say, I would like to pull out a new loan on the remaining debt, and I want it to be at the new interest rate. And then you can get a lower interest rate at that point. Now the house is really good. That's exactly what happened during the COVID crisis. When the interest rates hit 3 to 4%, all the rich guys who already owned a bunch of homes, they went to the bank and they refinanced their old interest rates to be a lower interest rate. So it's sort of like a handout for rich guys, and essentially. That's also why the economy does so well. It gets really hot when interest rates are really low, because rich guys pull out huge loans and then they go buy everything. And because they're buying stuff, demand is going up, and demand and sales makes it look like, whoa, the economy is so hot. Here goes Miss Tammy. Lotad, Noibat, Regirock. Acreage is a better investment. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe in certain places. Here's Tyranitar. Ooh, I like this Tyranitar, Tammy. We are. A wife wants Pokemon cards, not cars nowadays. Sell Pokemon for the house. Yeah, wives want Pokemon cards. Trust me, bro. Here's Furret. Furret the ferret. I love talking real estate. Yeah, real estate, all of it. It's all good. Here's Carablast. Here's another thing they don't tell you about owning property. You don't really get to own it because the government makes you pay rent. So you think you own it, but then the government charges you something called property taxes. Property taxes is where the government forces you to pay annual rent on your own property. So like when you buy a Pokemon card, the government says, that's your Pokemon card. Go ahead and enjoy it. But when you buy a home, first you pay taxes for selling or for buying it. It's either you pay it or the seller pays it. I don't know who. But first you pay a big chunk of taxes on the sale of the home. And then every single year, the government comes back to you and says, where's my money? Give me money. You own a home? Where's my money on that home? And so it's probably exactly what the founding fathers would have freaked out over. They'd have been like, that's not right. And that's our new country. Our country is all tax this, tax that, taxes everywhere, taxes up your butthole. Even the red states like to tax. Although DeSantis in Florida was saying they might do away with property taxes. If you own something, you're supposed to own it. You already pay taxes on it. You paid taxes on it when you bought it. Now you get to hold it and it's yours. It doesn't belong to the government. So, ooh. Unfortunately, no SIR, Tammy. Yeah, the property taxes is like robbery. And Texas is one of the, ironically, Texas, the red state, is one of the biggest offenders. You know, if Ron DeSantis truly got rid of property taxes in Florida, Florida might be the move, you know? That really is a lot of money. Of course, the problem is now Florida will have to find another way to make money. Here we are. All right. Crazy that you don't even necessarily own what's down in your land, like mineral rights and such. Right. Precious metals are good right now. Sure. Maybe. There we are. No one knows what's the best right now. It's all crystal ball guesses. I think precious metals rely on a market collapse, but not one that's so severe that it's apocalyptic. So if it's apocalyptic, even gold doesn't have value because you can't eat it, you can't plant it, you can't have babies with it, you can't drink it. There it is. In a truly apocalyptic scenario, maybe like all-out nuclear war, oh, I already took this picture. An all-out bunker might be valuable, and then food is valuable. Gold not as important, although gold probably would become the way people would trade at, you know, after the fallout. People would use probably like silver and gold at that point, maybe. When did they start making sneaker? Have you ever dated before, Bruce? Women don't like dangerous drivers. I like fast cars because I like bullying people on the highway and driving really fast like I'm in NASCAR. My wife collects sneaker bunko. Crazy that you don't own the land with the mineral rights. I date the girls. I don't drive dangerous when they are in the car, only when I'm by myself. I used to be that way, Brucey. I don't know how old you are, Brucey. When I was 18, I was a straight-up speed demon. When I was younger, my dad would drive 100 miles on the highway because he did a lot of cross-state traveling for his job. So he would drive 100 miles an hour to get where he needed to go for his next job. And I would be in the car watching, and he would tell me that, you know, as long as the cops do not catch you, it's okay. And I took that to heart when I started driving. I thought that was just the way the world worked. I was like, yeah, if you don't get caught, it doesn't matter. He would say stuff like, the cops are there to see if you're paying attention, because if you're not paying attention, you'll get caught. So I was like, yeah, you just pay really good attention. It's all good to go. And so I guess he was like kind of crazy that way. I don't know. But it was bad advice, obviously, because eventually I would get these horrible tickets for speeding really badly, like 80 and a 40. And I would drive like 60 in a 25-mile-an-hour road. I was 18, okay? I was 18 and stupid. You can judge me if you want. But it was very stupid, and I do regret it. I wouldn't do it twice, obviously. I'm older now. I wouldn't do that now. And so, you know, when it comes to driving, if you like paying really overpriced tickets, you should definitely do what you're explaining, drive aggressively and speed. You're going to get caught, dude. You're going to lose so much money driving illegally, you know, at an illegal speed. You're going to lose so much money just for the sake of the money. You should just, I stick to like 10 to 15 over. I don't go anything crazier than that. So like if you're in a 70-mile-an-hour highway, maybe like 80, 85, that's it. So I don't go to 100. That's too much. That's still good advice because you got caught. That's true. She left the keys in the car. She has a CGC Blue Label, Perfect 10, pink-haired girl. Hello, boss man. What's up, Bob McFreewan? Now, I remember my dad would always have tickets, too. He'd get a lot of tickets. Here's Hunter Tipton, Final Fantasy Opus 1. Ooh, Opus 1. Where's that? That's behind me somewhere. Okay, you ready? Is this a fresh box we are opening? Ooh. All right. Here it is. Fresh box time. Mister was banging the rev limiter on the 4-cylinder. I had a Honda Sport coupe or something like that, 2-door coupe, manual transmission, and I would drive it. It was like a game I was playing where I'd see how fast I could go to get from point A to point B, and I drove like an idiot. I mean, if you've ever ran into 18-year-olds who drive like idiots, I was one of them, but I never crashed, so I lived to tell the tale. But I did get tickets, really bad ones. And then I decided it's really stupid to drive this way because of the tickets. So the tickets did a good job on me. We are. All right, Hunter Tipton. Also, I tell this story often about how one day I worked for Coca-Cola and I learned a lot about how speeding doesn't always really get you anywhere faster. You think it does, but it doesn't get you there that much faster. I learned this because when you work for Coca-Cola, you use GPS all the time. And I can tell how with the GPS, speeding wasn't the most important factor. It was actually stoplights. Stoplights were easily what decided if I got there fast or slow. And so if you're going to speed, try to get under that light. You know, like if you see it turn yellow, you have two options, slow down or speed up. If you speed up, you're going to shave off like 2 minutes from your drive every time you do that. And I'm not trying to give any bad advice out, but, you know, you're allowed to be more cautious or just try to get under that light in time. But, yeah, the lights are what contribute to a long drive time. Now, if you're driving for like 40 minutes on the highway and you go 10 over, that also contributes to a faster drive time. So if you got a real long drive, 10 over on the highway does add up over time, but not as much as you think, right? Like if it was a 60-mile drive and instead of going 60 miles an hour, you went 70 miles an hour, you would get there like 10 minutes earlier, right? That kind of situation. And so that's not that much time ultimately when you think about how important it is to not die. Dying's pretty bad, right? So driving recklessly doesn't really pay off if you just are saving 10 minutes of your life. Jared waited a while for 5 Destined Rivals. Let's get it, Jared. You ready? 5 of these. All right. Mister was banging the rev limiter. What set you have that is selling like hotcakes? Oh, Black Bolt is selling like hotcakes, and Destined Rivals is selling like hotcakes, and White Flare is selling like hotcakes. Also, we have Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia. Those were selling like hotcakes. They've slowed down a little bit, but people still buy them here and there. That's the latest set is Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia. That's the Japanese set. And that's going to come out in English at the end of September, I think. So we're at the very beginning. You got about a month wait before the English version comes out. So we still have some Mega Brave and some Mega Symphonia available. It's got the golden cards in it. It's got the really good alt-arts in it. It's got these really good ARs. We are very popular. But this is probably one of the most popular. We're opening it right now. It's called Destined Rivals. And this is one of the most popular sets right here, everybody. All right. What's up, William Wafter? Ancient Origins Break is also selling like hotcakes. Ancient Origins is amazing because the price keeps going up on it. This is the Ancient Origins box break. Brett's got a couple packs over here. He wants to see it end, obviously. We were selling it at 128 a couple months ago. Now it's all the way up to 350 because the box keeps going up in price. So it's like you could wait to jump into that, or you could jump into it sooner, and then it won't be as bad. Here's Metatite. Here's Mewtwo. That box is definitely going to 10,000. I definitely feel it going to 10,000. Mewtwo. Here's Slugma Balls. Here's a nice little Tyranitar. And here's Amazon Turbo Kit. You need a new everything else. You put a turbo on the... Here's Muck. Here's Sneasel. All right, Mr. Jared. I know you were probably taking a shot at that bounty. But in this case, it's not gonna happen. Okay. Do you guys actually like the idea of bounties? Do bounties make it seem fun? Yeah. Ooh. I don't know. I don't want bounties to cause card sets to be ignored in favor of a different card set necessarily. Maybe there's a scenario where that makes more sense though. All right, Jared. Jared with the JA. You're gonna be right here. Like the stream, almost 50 likes. I think it already is at 10K. Someone tried to sell me one for 10K. My Flash Fire booster is now like 9K now, and I got it for $900 about 2 years ago. Yeah, I've got just one box of the Flash Fire myself. I never really liked that set, but I did buy a whole case of the XY Phantom Forces because I really liked Phantom Forces. I think I bought my first box of Flash Fire for like, it was probably like 1.5K or something like that. Let's see if eBay has a history of it real fast. I don't know. I know it got kind of expensive at one point, and I just kind of stopped working on it. Okay, so on June 24th, 2022, 3.2 thousand. So that's pretty expensive. I don't think that was how much I paid for my first box ever, because we broke like 2 boxes of Flash Fire over time. And so I know I probably paid for the last one around 3.2 then, huh? And now if it's around 10K, that's pretty good. It means it's tripled over time. Brett Love says, tag grading for the free pack, pulling the Seismitoad. I want your deal with tag to work out. And the more you submit for you, the better to keep that going. Yes. Wow, I like the idea of more of our cards going to tag than to PSA if they're going to treat us better over there anyways. So we got a couple cards going to tag just in the last couple days. That number's kind of stepped up. We are. The only thing I'm a little worried about with tag is them saying, sorry, that's beyond our scope right now. For some cards, like let's see. They're definitely not going to say that for Seismitoad. He's definitely getting graded. Same with this Groudon. Topps Halo, I don't know. Eevee's going to be good. This will be good. Tifa, One Piece. I think I did see One Piece on their website. I tried to submit some Opus Clouds today. And then this is good. I don't know about that. That is might get rejected. All right, so 2 of them might get rejected. Halo and Gundam. Gundam just came out. So I doubt they have it in their system at all yet. Okay. All right. I prepped the motor first, but it was an Amazon build. That's good, Dennis. I'm just joking. Some models have excellent quality stuff on an aftermarket for sale. They do Topps Halo. Nice. Mister, can you do me a favor? Can you buy just one Forbidden Light booster box and do a break? Forbidden Light, huh? Does it? I don't think it comes in a booster box. And the reason we don't touch Forbidden Light is because all it really has in it is like a Rainbow Greninja, I think. Let's see, PSA 10, Forbidden Light. I mean, obviously it has other cards, but not really good ones, right? That's what I'm saying. Let's sort it by highest price. Actually, let's go to sold as well, so we can get a real touch on the pulse. So the top sale for Forbidden Light was in fact the Rainbow Greninja for 800. Wow, that's pretty good. I mean, I used to have one that I bought for like 150, and then I sold it later. So that's it. It's also got this Dialga, and then after that, the rest of the set's just kind of like junk. It's not that good. All right, let's jump out of here. Let's jump back out of here. It has an expensive energy though. PSA 10 Rainbow Greninja is like 1K. Yeah, he's doing good. The Greninja's doing well. All right, let's see. We have Hathim, 4 Gunslingers. All right, let's bring these over. Let's bring these a little closer. 4 Gunslingers. Final Fantasy Gunslinger has actually been selling really fast. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but we have been busting through box after box of this. There. I was looking through Tag Pot Report and saw they only grade Weiss English. So I think the Gundam might not be graded since it's in Japanese. Well, the Gundam card isn't Weiss at all. The Gundam card is in, it's a Bandai Namco set, similar to One Piece. So I bet they don't have it. It might get rejected. Then again, if you send it to them, maybe they'll be incentivized to work on it. I don't know. Does Tag do regrading? So they don't do cross grading, but we can crack your Dragonite out and send it to Tag. That is a risky maneuver, I would say. I think that tag grading grades vintage cards pretty harshly from my experience. We've graded a number of vintage cards with them. We can do that if you want. But they are very harsh with their vintage card grading. So you're not going to catch a break from them. See, what's interesting about CGC is maybe they do grade their vintage cards a little nicer. And so that's the temptation with the CGC if we were to do that. Right now, your Dragonite's safe and sound in a PSA slab, and it's good. Safe and sound is good. Once you start cracking open that slab on such an expensive card, it's scary. But I mean, I'm open-minded if you really badly want to do it. All right, but you could send it to tag. I don't know. I might be tempted to send it to CGC first. Let's see. Tammy says another 10 Journey Together. All right, let's try it out. 10 more Journey Togethers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Can you put in a good word to tag and have them grade my Belle Delphine cards? I'll ask them. I'll say, hey, you know, Belle Delphine's pretty good. Here we are. There you go. Have you seen her a Hago face? What is she up to? Is there any news about Belle Delphine? She was like, she was a trending internet e-girl. I feel like, man, she's got to be like 30 now or something. She's getting older, right? We are. She's all grown up. We're grown up. But that's kind of what happens. You know, if you're a Playboy model 1 year, 10 years later, you're not a Playboy model. And it feels like it's almost 10 years. Feels like it's been 10 years later. She's just going to be retiring with her millions and millions and millions of dollars. There we are. We're doing it all wrong, guys. Should have started by showing off your butthole on OnlyFans. Whale Lord. Now, but that's a risky endeavor, you know, because if people decide you're not attractive enough and they decide that, hey, you're not going to make any money, but you're still going to disgrace yourself by showing off your naked body. Yeah, I don't know. Over time, I feel like people's feelings on stuff like that have changed somewhat. You know, I don't feel like it offends people as much. There's probably tons of girls with failed OnlyFans accounts. I don't care. Does anyone actually care other than like really old or really religious people? She says she's coming back according to her podcast. Any rare slabs in your collection aside from Pokemon? Oh, look at that. You know, aside from not pulling an SIR so far, you've done really good here, Tammy, picking up both the Articuno and the Whale Lord. Look at this, guys. You forget Journey Together actually has some robust cards to pull. It's so affordable, too. Our Journey Together is more affordable as a set and has lots of good cards in it. That's why I bought a couple cases of Journey Together, too, because I felt like Journey Together kind of gave me like Cosmic Eclipse vibes, where there's so many other good sets around it that people think it's not going to do very well, and then later on it did extremely well. Yeah, Cosmic was overlooked because of Hidden Fates. It was like this set where people knew it was good, but they were so busy with Hidden Fates that for a while it went ignored. Here it is. All right. Seems like Tag does grade Japanese One Piece, so there's a chance they grade Gundam. That's what I was saying when he asked to grade it with them. I said, well, they do grade the One Piece. They flagged me for inappropriate content. Any rare slabs in your collection aside from Pokemon? Yeah, I got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I got some really crazy cool Mario cards, and I got some bubblegum Mickey Mouse cards. I don't know if you guys know this about me. Some of you guys know this. I own the oldest Mickey Mouse card set in history, and it's a complete set. So I have like a museum grade Mickey Mouse collection, and I show it off from time to time. You know, each year it gets older. It's really crazy. It's called Junkasa or Junkasa Mario. Did I say Mario? Junkasa Mickey Mouse. And they're super, super, super cool looking. But some of you guys are new and didn't know that. And some of you guys have been around for a little while now, and you already know that. I show those slabs off from time to time. I had to make it short about them. Here we are. I didn't even pay that much for them. In my opinion, I didn't pay that much. There it is. All right. So no SIR in there. One box of OP9 Japanese. You got it, Miss Sarah. One box of Japanese OP9. I love Mickey Mouse. Yeah, I mean, Mickey Mouse and Disney get a little bit of heat, especially lately with some Disney movies not feeling that good and some of the children's shows not doing so well. Maybe like, for example, like the Buzz Lightyear had like the lesbian kiss in it, and there was a lot of outrage. and the movie didn't do very well, probably because the movie wasn't even that interesting anyways. I mean, what was it even about? But, and it wasn't the voice of Buzz Lightyear or somebody else's voice acting. So I was like, what? Who's going to watch this? But so, you know, Disney's got a lot of that going on where, you know, they're making maybe like social commentary, or maybe they're making content that religious conservative types really don't want. They're offended by it. And I think that that's hurting the Disney brand to some degree. Like, what did they do most recently? They made the feminist, anti-capitalist hero, Snow White and the 7 CGI things. And it was just so bad. I mean, it flopped so hard. And ironically, Snow White, the original one, was what kind of launched Disney into fame, into notoriety, because they featured the first like movie-length feature film where it's all cartoon, it's all drawn, right? It's all drawn and voice acting. So it was like something that no one had really done back then. They'd never had that success before. And they did that with Snow White. So it's this integral part of their history and their identity. And now, all these years later, we see the culmination of all of the bad, stinky ideas going into movies and TV shows showing up in the Snow White remake. And it got, like, I think one of the lowest ratings ever in movie history. And made no money either. So it made terrible amounts of money. It lost lots of money. You don't think about that movie as much anymore, but that was all anyone talked about for a while, was just how bad it was. Rachel Zegler, she was very arrogant, very politicized. You know, if you voted for Trump, screw you, or something like that. And so all of their sort of foray into politics has not gone well for them, in my opinion. But the point, the reason I'm bringing all this up is because Disney used to just be a company that made movies like Snow White, and it was really cool. So what's cool about these really old Disney cards is they were from a different time period, and all the people from that time period were different people. It was a different company. So I think it's cool collecting those old vintage Mickey Mouse cards. And it's okay to have nostalgia for old Mickey. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to think of it and the current state of Disney as the same company. You can think of them as different companies, really. And, you know, I don't think Mickey and Disney is going to go anywhere. I think over a long period of time, new leaders will emerge, new writers, new film writers, new scripts will be written, and the company will put out some big hits, and maybe it will experiment with some stuff that doesn't do very well. It's just going to work out that way, you know. They have to be able to create products where they don't politicize it in a way that doesn't work. You know, like, ironically, a little bit later, the Minecraft movie comes out with Jack Black, and they do not push a lot of messaging in it, and it's just weird and funny in a strange way, and it makes millions of dollars. It does super, super well. The chicken jockey meme goes super viral on the internet. It's like this crazy thing, really positive thing. And they just kind of stuck to, you know, having fun making a movie instead of focusing on the messaging. You know, what's the message? Hey, stupid conservatives. You guys suck. That's the messaging, basically. And it, you know, if you want to talk about politics in your movie, you just have to do it in a way that comes off as really relatable, and there has to be some balance, and it has to be smart, and it has to really make people go, wow, I feel influenced by that, rather than just feeling like somebody's, you know, maybe saying, this is good, this is bad, you're bad, you know, because I don't think that works very well. You have to, like, convince somebody of an idea. So Disney's not doing a good job of that. That, to me, just says that they don't have, like, talented writers, basically. Also, I have a theory. The reason there's a lack of talented writers, my theory is that they're all YouTubers now. That's my theory, is all the talented. So back in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, everyone worked in entertainment for, like, Hollywood. Now everyone's working for themselves on social media. So I think there's been a brain drain out of social media and into, out of Hollywood and into social media. There's been a brain drain. How can Hollywood gain access to the same top talent when, if you're really talented, like Meat Canyon or something like that, if you're really talented, why don't you just make your own YouTube channel and get all the money for it and get all the attention and all the fame? You know what I mean? So I think that maybe Hollywood's having a problem where they can't get the same talent anymore. Anyways, let's see what you guys are saying. Mister, can you put in a good word at Tag anywhere slabs your collection aside from Pokemon? It seems like Tag grades one piece. I'm going to corner the market. I love Mickey. Mystery, you mentioned how often you pay for something. In my opinion, in this market, simply owning the item is more important than how much you paid for it. Well, I think the reason you talk in terms of dollar bills is because that is the hobby. Knowing how much an item costs is a measure of its desirability, and seeing the change in cost over time shows how you were able to pick the one that ended up being the more desirable one, which is sort of the game, isn't it? So being able to pick out a card that no one knows is going to go way up in price, but it does, that's really exciting for me. It's sort of like a market prediction game, and I just enjoy it. It's a little bit like gambling. I think it's a little bit like gambling. It's like a different kind of gambling, though. All right, Free Palestine. Now all those people are dead. I like musicals. Free Hat, that's a cool card. That's true. All the creatives are on freelance mode. Disney, Cracker Barrel, My Predator Show. All right, that was for Miss Sarah Dusenberry. She's very nice to me. Sarah, this box was a double hit box with a leader card and Shanks. Very nice. Let's get this into your bag. Very nice. Yeah, I think there's a way for Disney. Let's say Disney's goal is to sort of like normalize homosexual relationships or marriages. Maybe there's some way for them to talk about that, you know, in a way that doesn't trigger people. But I feel like they haven't found a formula that doesn't scare away Christian conservative watchers. And maybe it'll never be the case that they don't, you know, that they don't scare them away, or that, yeah, I said that right. Double negative, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just this tricky thing where now the world has this thing in it that's been normalized, and it's in some sort of battle with older traditions that don't seem to be going away too strongly. You know, I don't think the Muslims are about to give up. I don't think the Christians and the Jews are about to give up. Maybe they will. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think that increasingly younger generations are less religious? I suspect they are. All right, let's click on this. Mr. Thim, last 4 gunslingers. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Haha, very nice. Ooh. I don't think religions will ever truly go away, because I think they would just transform into other kinds of religions, basically, like politics becoming a religion. All right. Snip this. I can't really think of the last time that I thought of a Disney movie where I thought, wow, that looks really entertaining. I want to watch that. There we go. And I think that's a problem for them. They got to fix that. There we go. What do we got? Here's Penelo. Penelo? Okay. Here's Larsa. Ooh, Larsa and Titus. Look at that Titus. Larsa full art popping out. These boxes can be pretty tough. Here's Ninja. I want to be Ninja. And Cripshay. Ooh, Cripshay. Yeah, they've been doing that with a lot of entertainment. Who remembers that Velma show? Remember when they took Velma and they tried to make it like super woke Velma? There it is. Or the She-Hulk. That was another one. They took She-Hulk, and they keep taking TV shows and movies, and they moved them into the realm of heavy politics. Heavy politics. Instead of, oh no, there's a bad guy and we need to stop him. It's, have you checked your privilege? Or something like that, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, dude. All right. Very nice. Very good. It turns out that's not entertaining. It's frustrating. Wait, now Roku's charging me $8? What is Roku taking all my money for? Mr. Jared said Ace Mario. Ooh, the Ace Mario 2015. Let's try to find him. Is he in the Discord server? He must be in the Discord server. I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the one with the shell? He's a really good looking one. Like this one right here. My kids asked to be put in a school with Bible study. Did they? Okay, maybe it's in here. Let me look in the Discord server real fast. Everything's in Discord these days, so now I never know. We're going to the All Slabs channel. Okay, let me see. Ah, there he is. $100. He is in there. I'm going to say Mario sold. Okay, we'll mark it sold. And now let's go hunting for this slab. Let's see if we can find it real fast. Here it is. All right. It is our Ace of Spades Mario. Take a quick look at that, everybody. Wow. Beautiful, huh? Not bad looking. Here it is. Well, you know, the sad part is I didn't grade enough for these. Jared Line. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Gosh, I kind of want to list this one up. Is there something I can convert this over to real fast? Let me see if I have an equivalent thing I can convert this over to. Oops. Lift that up a little bit. Maybe this other Mario. Mario Ace of Diamonds right here. It's kind of similar, right? Got similar vibe. Nobody was complaining about the stuff in V for Vendetta. V for Vendetta, though, is not for children. It's like for adults. That's still cool, right? That's cool. Now we got a couple of those style of cards left to sell, but this is the last one of these. All right. Oh wait, he's sold. No, you got him. I was saying he sold because you sold him, or you bought him. Here it is. You got him, Jared. Jared, he's all yours. I'm gonna price this one up too, okay? All right. So I only had 2 of these types of Marios. They are. So this one's sold and that one's for sale. And then that one's for free. All right. Well, it is 5:12. We made a lot of progress. Actually, I think these are some of the last slabs over here. Here's another AOVIC slab. Take this off the table real fast. AOVIC. Okay. And then we've got this wonderful Giratina, Stekowski, Caleb Rainbow Furo 10, and Caleb Sandshrew. So, let's get that. This is good because what's happened here is we've gotten the Consignment Slabs fresh pictures. We are, and I think what I'll do now in the future, more so, we'll get these on the table more often, and just once they've rotated a little bit, we'll just dump them back into the consignment box. We are. Yes, we do consignment where you can mail your cards in and I sell them for you and you get store credit. 73% store credit. That's not bad. Now, if you want straight up cash, it's a little harsher. It's 68% cash. So it's a little harsher if you want cash. Thanks for the card. No problem, man. Yeah, it's a cool card. I wasn't sure how these would do, but they're really nice. There it is, the Mario cards. 2015 was 10 years ago, so yeah, it's already kind of an older card. It's kind of neat. All right, guys. Well. I say we wrap up. Do you have a pop spreadsheet of your slabs? No, we just take pictures of them and post them to Discord. Occasionally, though, I make a video of my slabs, and so we ought to do that more. So here's the free strawberry giveaway. It still has to be hosted. Come back for that. And then we have an AOVIC slab, $10 AOVIC slab to give away. I don't know where I said it. It was just a little slab. I don't know where it went. Yeah, I have no clue. I never wrap up. Oh, okay. There you go. That's because you never use it. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up here. I had a lot of fun, guys. I'll see you for the Monday daytime stream. Oh, you know what? It's Labor Day weekend. So Karis is off for Monday, so there might not be a daytime stream. There probably won't be. I'll see you for the Monday nighttime stream. There will be a nighttime stream on Monday. I doubt there'll be a daytime stream. It'll be treated just like a weekend. See you later, everybody. Have a nice night.